Dude, no. Yu-Gi-Oh is not better than Pokemon. I've told you
It's
for a
better
long
than
time.
Poke.
It's
No,
not gonna
no,
overtake
no.
it.
For the
And I told you
bro,
MetaZoo is not better than Yu-Gi-Oh. It doesn't go MetaZoo, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. That's not the hierarchy, bro. We can't go. Okay,
yes,
so
but
hold on. We're live. We're live. My bad.
oh my fort. All right, yeah, do
What's
the
up,
intro.
guys? What's up,
Do
everyone?
the intro.
Welcome to the old card shop. We got
Welcome.
the young card shop here with me. Some guy we found on the street. We appreciate. No, that's everyone. Spicy Boys TV. You guys, if you don't know him already, go give him a follow. We're gonna put his link down below afterwards in the description, so you can go drop a link. He doesn't do much YouTube, but when he does, it's pretty spicy. Dare I say?
80 shipped. 80 shipped. Get at me.
What's up,
What's
folks?
up, Josh?
So
What's good,
yeah, we're
boy?
just chilling. I kind of wanted to go do this live because I haven't really done many lives recently. And Scarlet and Violet coming out. I got a couple of ripped ETBs. I figure I would steal. Everyone's stealing everyone's plays these days, you know. So I figure I'd steal Thrifty's play and do a chill and chill podcast type thing. You know, we open some packs, we talk the Pokemon hobby, hang out, but you know, I'm all about it. So what's up with you, man? How you doing?
Not much, man. I'm here for it. I'm happy to be on. Long time watcher, first time guest. Fucking,
Dude, that's
just chilling, bro. Just chilling, hanging out, man. We need to heal. We need this a heal stream. It's
wait,
rainy.
we're healing?
We're healing, bro. We're healing.
All right, I'm down.
But
Is it raining where you're
yeah,
at
just
too?
yeah, it's raining everywhere. The whole world is raining right now, I think.
I mean, it was sunny yesterday, and then I woke up this morning and it was pouring rain again. We just got through in Cal. I'm in California on the West Coast, and you're over there in what, Florida? On the dang, it's right. It's literally raining
The whole yeah, the whole country, bro. You know,
What's up,
but
Thrifty? I see Mr. Walrus. I see Thrifty in the chat. Thrifty, I'm gonna rip something. I have some Scarlet and Violet, even though I'm all set on the set. I'm all set on Scarlet and Violet already. I'm gonna rip
he is
some.
all set.
Yeah, I now that I'm not a whatnot streamer, I can't just move my like ripped product, like my ripped ETBs. Can't just open them and use the packs in streams. So I gotta rip them for myself now because I can't sell someone a ripped ETB, you know, when they order from my website, which I don't have anymore, or from my eBay, which I don't sell ETBs on, or when they hit me up on Instagram, which I'm not really actively selling sealed product on. Yeah, so when
So how
people
are you selling it? How are
I'm
you
not.
selling it?
That's the thing. I'm not.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna help you clear some space. Is what we're doing here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna rip some product here. Yeah, so there may be some other folks who come on tonight too. For anyone who's watching, I put an open invite in one of the super secret discords that we're in, so you might see some potential familiar faces pop in. Depends on if they're feeling shy. They'll at least be in the chat though. I've also got the other stream set up, so when things start getting boring, we'll go over and open some packs. But yeah, I don't know. I've had a lot of Scarlet and Violet on the mind, so that was what the whole like Scarlet and Violet title was thinking. Since it's coming out Friday and it's already sort of out on the market, I don't know. Have you seen any of it? Are you gonna buy any? I know you're not really much into buying modern. Like, first of all, I don't think I've ever seen you buy modern except for on other people's streams when you're ripping it. I've heard tale of you doing modern, you know, Pokemon stuff, but from all I know, you do plushies and you do elatos. Am I correct me if I'm wrong? Those are the two
Correct.
things.
That's the brand, baby. That's the branding. Elatis go all the way up, and then plushies all the way down with the people, with the kids, with the. Um, Nah, bro, I do all sorts of stuff, bro. I do all sorts of stuff, you know. You know that, Josh. Like I know you're trolling, but like
Right.
I do a fair bit of modern, like just like I might flip, some of it. I'm not a huge fan of ripping it though, because I it's so minus EV and it just like hurts, bro. It's like oof 50, oof 40, oof 60. Like um
Do you think I can plus EV with the promo in this? Just at least the promo grading it? Like maybe if it tends?
nah, I think you definitely plus EV. You're so early, right?
Mm,
That if you pull anything and just send it, you'll make money. Like straight up. Like there's probably regular hollows in there that you can grade 10-day turnaround and get them on the market. So like
dude,
I don't see how you lose money.
I got destroyed with the first opening of Scarlet and Violet I did. I'm gonna drop a video later on tonight, like in the middle of the night, so it's up tomorrow, and it's my first like Scarlet and Violet opening on the channel, and I got destroyed, bro. Straight up, they're like,
Oof.
"There's a holo in every pack," and they weren't kidding. There is a holo in every pack, and that's the freaking. That's it. That's it. There's just a holo in every pack, and that's it. Yeah, so that had nothing to do with how I feel about the set either. By the way, that's not why I'm all set on it. I just, I like. Are you like? Have you played the new game? Are you up with the new Pokemon? Like, do you know all the names and shit? Like,
Well, here's the thing. Normally, the answer would be no, because I am what they call old and washed up. So I'm a Gen 1 baby, so to speak. You know, little sprites, not a lot of color. The link cable, old school, right? But luckily, I made friends with the youth, let's say, Colson. And so Colson is my source for this information. For example, the legendary looks like a bike, but he doesn't ride like a bike. But yet his name is Coridon. You coride on me. I see what you're doing, Pokemon. You know what I mean? So Colson's the one that lets me know these things, and that's why you got to stay tapped in with the kids, bro. So because I would never know. I would never know half of them, and I still don't know the names or anything. But like, at least I kind of get what people like. Small little rant here, but like, you know, the crystal form. You know what I'm talking about? Like in Scarlet, they have.
I think it's terrestrialized or whatever.
Or is that what it's called? Yeah. So like basically, they look like their whole body is made of crystal. And so I was looking at the game, and in the game, that's like their power up. That's like them, you know, transforming or whatever, right? So I'm like, okay,
Max or whatever. Yeah.
So that correct. So that makes sense that those would be popular in the TCG, right? But for you and me, we don't know that if we didn't play the game. So to us, it's just like, who cares? Like, you get me?
I think people know that, like, you know, the VMAX is like the big is like the mega form, or the whatever the terrestrialized, the EXs when they have the big old shiny crowns. And I think they understand that. I don't think that's why people are kind of like timid on it. I think it's always the same thing with like new generations. It's like we're always you and I are like a good spattering of a large generation of who collects this stuff, and we're all Gen 1ers and Gen 2ers. So whenever a new generation comes out, people are just like, man, I don't like it. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't know it. And to a certain extent, that's me. Like, I'm always that guy. So like, and then a few generations come down, they're like, you know, that little rooster guy, like, he's all right. You know, the little frog dude, like the little mud guy, he's cool too. But it took a while for people to actually care about that kind of thing, maybe. And it's the same thing with anything. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be better, but right now I'm sort of, yeah.
But dude, all right, look, say what you want about Gay Duck. All right, I'm not here to judge.
Yeah, I don't even know his name.
You know, I don't know his name, but I like it. I think it's funny. Like, I actually think it's comedic. If you go back, and I don't think you should do this, but if you go back and you watch and you look at the other generations, Josh, like go back and look at Gen 5, Gen 6, there's a lot of goofy Pokemon in there, dude. There's a lot of weird shit that's like, what? Like, y'all made a teacup Pokemon? Like, you gotta, like, it's not that bad.
Cool
like
too.
Scarlet, it's not that bad. It's not bad.
Though. There's definitely some cool things in there too, though. That's where, like, you know, like weird. There's some cool Litwick, you know, and those types of cool things. I mean, there's some interesting new Pokemon. I can't think of them off the top of my head because I'm a Gen 1er, but there's a few. But what about Scarlet and Violet? What's the best card in Scarlet and Violet? Is it that Miriam chick, the waifu?
I mean, money wise, that's the money play. Like, if you pull that, you can basically sell it and buy whatever you want. So that's the one. But I think
thing out though, yeah. Like, what's the best?
That's not my favorite, bro. That's not my favorite one, to be honest. That, like, if you're asking my favorite, that's not my favorite. I could care less about a girl with books. I'm good. I'm not.
Okay,
I'm good.
Well, what are you hoping to pull if you're opening, you know, a booster box or whatever? You're throwing your money away.
Let me pull up the set list so we can look at it and actually, like, you know, look through them. Can I share my screen?
Yeah. Or do I have to, like, allow that or something as the?
I don't know. Let me see percent. Share screen. All right, yeah, that should be all right. All right, so let's look at that. Can y'all see that?
Let me add
I
that.
guess full screen it,
There we
maybe?
go. There we go.
All right, movie. Hell yeah. All right,
Yeah. It's all Japanese.
so I
I
mean,
guess we'll deal with it.
all right, we'll just go about one by one or whatever. Like, bro, all right, let's look at the hollows and stuff first, right? Because we're not gonna like go crazy or whatever, but
So my issue with this
okay.
set is I did a quick initial run through. Is I only knew a couple of the big Pokemon. Obviously, Gyarados and Arcanine are like two of the obvious like Poke Boomers are gonna like that, and those are the two I like. But like that's dope. I would love that. I would love that Arcanine. I love Arcanine. I
That's
just don't think
fire.
Arcanine can like carry a set. You know what I mean?
Okay, but it's not about carry a set, all right? It's about they're releasing this new thing, right? This new generation, this new like type of Pokemon and all this. And they have to release it slowly, bro. They're not gonna just hit you with Terrestrial Charizard on the first set. Like we're not like, come on, bro. You get me? So they're just, bro, they're giving you a little bit. They're like, hey, here, enjoy this Arcanine with a side of Gyarados. Like, here you go, enjoy this for now. And we're gonna slice you up something better in the future towards the holidays. Bro, they know what they're doing, bro. They're just
Oh, I know
stringing you
that. Don't
along.
get me wrong. I know that. And so knowing what you know
What?
about that though, knowing that they're purposefully tempering this set and like watering it down so they can save the sauce as it were for later in the series, are you
Yep.
buying in? Does like are you throwing a couple of booster box cases or a booster box up in your closet or whatever of this? Or are you at least are you buying singles or whatever? Are you more like, nah, I'm cool. I'm waiting for the better of the sauce. Because, like, I mean, if you were to buy Sword and Shield base set, I'm sorry, I've never asked you, I don't think, Nesso, when you
Talk to
got
me.
back into the hobby. But
Hmm.
when did you kind of come back to the hobby, or did you never leave? Or, I mean, I assume you at some point, but what's your sort of re-entry story? Because this is gonna assume
Um,
what I say next.
Listen, bro, I'm not gonna tell you my whole Genesis story or whatever, but you want to do it after this because look at this art. Look at the homie right now and tell me this is not the best set of 2023. Like, look at
Weasel,
me in my.
like, I've been all set on Weasel ever since he came out, so you got to go to the next card. So, like, there's been other.
Okay, all right. This is not me. This is a. I don't know how this got through, bro. Respect to Shinji, but you're
That's
better than this.
that's an awful card. Like the art's cool, right? Like you said, respect to the artist, but like that's an
Fire.
awful Pokemon. That's kind of dope.
This fire, gas, black label it. I got 500 for you.
But who is
Facts,
that? Is that like Claudant? Is that what that guy's name is? Like I don't. I wish it was.
bro. See, that's the problem. That's the problem, bro. Look, you don't just feel the art. Just feel it. Look. He's toasty. He's in the sun. He's just living, bro. You know, like don't worry about what it said. This is weird. Whatever. I don't know.
It's like the evolution
This
of that guy. That's
this
somewhat.
is kind of cool. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, that I mean that's sort of a sensual card. Like the way he's looking at me, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. If I'm blushing, don't hopefully the camera doesn't pick up on that. But
Dude, I think this is the best set that was ever released. Yeah, I said it. I said it,
okay, just because here's the gay duck. There he is, the hat.
bro.
Mario. It looks like
My
he's like
boy.
trying to be a blue Mario or something with that hat. Like what's with the upside down W? Like or the upside down M. It's just a W wanting to be Mario or something.
Bro, what we got here is an Elvis baby duckling that one day becomes a gay duck. This is revolutionary, dude. Like this, like what Pokemon's doing is groundbreaking, dude.
Okay,
Groundbreaking.
but what I'm trying to say though is this set even worth looking at compared to what we're gonna get going down the line? Because like if you were to buy Sword and Shield in the beginning of that block, I don't know if you're around for that.
Oof.
That's where I was getting at. Like you would have
Oh,
been
got you.
seriously disappointed by the time the third, fourth, fifth set started coming out, and you were like, "Well, shit, why did I buy Sword and Shield?" Like obviously now Sword and Shield booster boxes are like worth what $200. But you know how long it took to get to that point where they were actually like desirable? It took the entire block being done. So I don't know, man. I'm just like, the set's fine, but I'm not going to open a bunch of it. And I'm thinking I'm probably not going to hoard a bunch of it. I just think
Oof, bro.
it's going to
I
be
get you.
you know, for me, I'm sort of all set on it. But we're gonna open these 2 ETBs here. Like there's a cool common art. There's a couple cool the Magikarp in this set's dope. Yo, go back.
That's fire.
Go
That's
back to the
fire.
Slowbro. Yo, the Slowbro is dope. That one's
That's what
dope.
I'm saying,
No,
B.
that
Like,
one's cool. Okay,
like,
yeah, no, fair. That one's sick. And then that one's pretty cool too. Yeah, that's a nice, I like the calm.
I'm not mad at this set. I'm not mad. Like, people,
Like the common arts,
people
they skip it. No one's going through on these except for us on these YouTube streams looking at the commons. Like people are appreciating them. Like who cares about the common art? Like the people want the EXs,
The hits.
Yeah,
Okay.
So like, and
okay, so what are the hits? What are the hits?
Okay, that's what I want to get at. Well, let's cut through.
All right, let's get to the shits, bro. Okay, so we got all these.
Those are cool. Okay. I mean, there's a couple. Like, I really like there's one that's going to come up that I've seen before that I really like. Okay, the Curlia Gardevoir line. That one's pretty neat.
This is going to print, bro.
Yeah, that one's neat. I like that one. What about the, are the Paldea line in it, the starters, or is that going to be in the second set that they announced just recently, the Paldea Evolve?
I don't know.
So Gayduck doesn't have his, what's it called? His character rare in this. Yo, go back. What was that dog laying on Gengar? That was actually kind of dope. The ghost.
That's
dog.
Called Grievard, I think. Or
yeah,
Grevard.
That's cool. I like that. That's actually a really nice one. I like the. There's a couple cool, but like it's not seeing like anything that I'm like, Like I think they might release like shiny alternate arts in this generation, in Gen 10, like with the alternate arts and shiny.
I think this is a good one.
That's
a good one, Josh.
Both of those, the Arcanine and the Gyarados, those are sick.
Those are fire, and they look nice in person.
That. Like if they only do that in the first set, like if they only did it on the Arcanine and the Gyarados, that type of artwork in this set, that would make this set really, really unique and cool.
I mean, I think it's a pretty good set, bro. I'm not mad at it. Like, I guess these are not the Pokemon I'm nostalgic for or anything, but I don't think they're worse than a lot of other generations that had a lot of whatever random shit, So I think the artwork is good. Like, I like the variety of these, like EXs being different.
Now we're getting to the point where I'm all set. Like, all you're flashing through right now, I'm just like thinking about a booster.
You're all set?
On this, yes. On the pig, yes.
You're all set on Charvy?
On that dude? Yeah, I'm all set on them. And
you're all set on Coulson at 23. You're all set. This is most Coulson. Okay,
I'll take Coulson. That's cool. That's pretty cool. But
so this is the hit. This is the hit, or one of the hits.
Man, nah, I don't know, dude. I wish.
You don't like that, dude? You don't like this?
I wish I was all about it. Like, it's cool. It's beautiful art. Like, it's cool, but it's not $200 card, I don't think. Like, I like the Arcanine and the Gyarados way better. Like, I agree with you on that.
I mean, it's not base set Zapdos or anything like S tier, but like, you don't like this? You don't like a little jungle baddie that also just left the office? Wow.
I mean, it's not that. It's just the Pokemon. Like, I'm trying to look at the hits, man. Not like the trainers. Like,
all right, bro.
Okay, there we go.
Right here, boom.
Dude. Like, he's breakdancing. That's kind of dope. I mean, I like that. Gives me the breakdancing Genesect vibes. It's kind of cool. Do
you even know how dope this card is, bro? Like, this is fire.
Hella playable.
Man, fuck playable. Bro, listen. My boy is in the future. Okay? Hello? This thing on? Okay. He's in the future, Josh. Because he travels through time, Josh. So he's in the future. Okay.
Is that what
you have not learned?
Time traveler?
Yes, dude.
I don't know. Okay, well, that's kind of
cool. That's why I'm here. I'm the expert. You brought an expert.
That's right.
So I'm telling you, he's traveling through time to the future. So that's why he's in a futuristic city. That's why the puppy is shook. Like, what's going on? Right? And the colors are fire, and it's an SAR, bro. Good night. This is a super dub.
I like the colors
Super
on
dub.
that. I don't know what the hell it is. It's a rookie card though. I was told that rookie cards are supposedly a thing, or is that just sports? Like I
That's
don't know.
cap. That everything you ever heard before this podcast is cap. Let's keep going.
Okay,
What about this right here?
I'm glad to be a part of this then. The Gardevoir, that one's dope. I don't even like that one's sick. Like the whole art line behind the family of like the Gardevoir, Curlia, Rawls, that's sick. Like that, beautiful. I hope they keep doing those types of things, but yeah, I don't know,
Look,
man. I just don't know if it's like
not a fan.
It's not something that makes me want to. Okay, so opening, yes.
Ooh,
So go back.
You don't like this?
The one before. Go back to the one before. Imagining opening that.
That's fire.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's textured, dude.
That it's cool, I guess, but like it's gonna be worth $5. It's literally gonna be a $5 card, $10 card, maybe $20 card, you know. And it's like I don't even know the name of it, my friend. And
look at me. Listen.
I don't even love the art. It's like it's okay. There's much better. And so you're gonna have to pay how much with the new MSRP to get that card? Like, and it's gonna be a $5 card. It's like I don't know, man. I can't open it knowing that.
But Josh, I'm gonna need you to do me a favor, baby. I'm gonna need you to take off the Gen 1 glasses for me, okay? And just look at it as if you never knew what Pokemon even was, okay? Now, first of all, just facts. Textured, okay? Cool colors. Well, I don't know what the Pokemon is, but cool colors. A sandstorm. It's a vibe. It's a super vibe. Now imagine you were a little kid, baby Josh, and this was the Pokemon you played in the game. And you're like, bro, that's
if I was a kid and I pulled that. Like, I'd be so sad because I don't know nothing about rarity. I don't know it's an alternate art. I'm just like, what is this damn elephant? I don't know what I want the Arcanine, or I don't know what kids would want in this set. The Miraidon,
talk to me.
Paradigm. They want that guy. Kids want that guy.
Talk to me, bro. Talk to me.
That dude's cool. That dude's pretty cool, I guess. Like, I like the jungle artwork.
How you feel about the Dene being there? For me, I mean, they could have put a Charizard or something.
I mean, Dedenne is cool though. He's cute.
Put a Lugia or something, bro.
I don't know.
Like what, you know?
I think
it's
cool.
Cute.
Yeah. Dedenne is fun.
It's cute.
I don't mind it.
I like this card. I like this card. The two legendaries are good.
Those two
legendaries are good.
And the Gardevoir is good. Yeah.
Come on, man.
I gotta work. I gotta open 2 ETBs here, bro. I gotta have something to hope for. Okay, I like that one.
Ooh, let's go.
She's pretty. That's cool. I do like that, but I don't think it's like the best card ever. You know, it's a cool card though. Go back to the one before with the sleeping the sleeping person.
Colson, baby Colson.
I
fell asleep
like
on his Japanese books.
Kind of dope. That one's kind of funny.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. This the one, bro. We gotta hit this one. Yo, can I buy an ETB off of you too?
You want to do one of these? You want to battle?
Nah, I don't want to battle. We can just like.
Well, yeah. Well, not battle. Yeah, you get to keep. I mean, not battle as in like the better keeps whatever. I just mean like you want to open one. I want to open one. Sure, we can do that.
Yeah, let's do that, and then I just like cash app you or whatever. I got you.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll just do that afterwards. Which one you want? You want purple? Or you want red?
Purple or red? I mean, I guess I can ask the chat to determine my fate, you know? You know what I mean? What are we doing? I'm kind of leaning purple, but also I have a red room. So it's kind of like maybe I was trying to tell myself something from a different dimension. I don't know, bro. So red? Purple? Everybody saying purple? Okay, well.
What are we doing, chat? Red, purple, purple kush, purple.
I'm going purple, boy.
I see 3 purples. Yeah. All right. So
I'm going purple, bro.
You're Miraidon.
Can I go second?
Yeah. Hold up. Let me change my camera over. Get this waifu chick off the screen.
Yeah, I want to see you in full screen, man. Come on, let's get it.
Let's go.
There you go.
Okay, where are we at? OBS.
Kai is funny. Kai, that was funny, Kai. I just lazy, bro. I just read the room and that's it. You gotta read the room. I read the room, you know. So what's the chat talking about, bro? What's up with you guys, bro? Everybody shipping out orders, huh? Everybody packaging?
Are
What
you
you
saying you
doing?
want to go second? All right,
Yeah, I'll go second.
put yours up here.
Let's go. Oh, wait, but make yours full screen.
All right, hold on. How do I do that? Let me see. Oops.
Just like, yeah.
Cinema layout? What is this? How do I? Solo?
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah,
this
is
first one.
yo, this is fun, Josh. Thanks for having me on, man. This is awesome.
Thanks for coming on. I was wanting to go live tonight. I just hadn't really planned it out, so a little last minute live. So the thing that's cool about this is now that we get promos in the ETBs, it's actually kind of worth opening up. And there's 9 packs in them now instead of 8. Like, I feel like never before have I thought that ETBs were worth opening. But now that you actually get a promo, it's not terrible. Oh, look at you. Look at that. Hold on.
Oh, those are fire, dude.
I love the promos, though. I will admit, I really love the promos.
Yeah.
Okay, let me.
That's a. Hey, good luck, baby. I hope you pull the Miriam and print.
Let's look at the rest of this stuff, too, just because it's the first time I've been able to see it. Here, if anyone wants a code card for their online deck, if you play. I wish I could do something. Have you? What do you guys do, chat? What do you guys do with these energies? Have you gotten to the point where you throw away energies yet? Because I'm at that point, and I've been at that point for a while now. But I want to know if anyone else has. It makes my fiance cringe every time I throw away a brick of energies. I don't know what.
Yeah, but she doesn't understand that they're completely worthless unless they're like Japanese hollow energies. Then you can get like 125.
It's literally less than worthless. Those ETBs, they're just garbage. All right, so I guess we're hoping for the Miriam. That's what I'm hoping for because I'm gonna grade it Express. The question is, if I get the Miriam, is it too late to grade Express because pre-release was 2 weeks ago, and there's going to be that first market premium is done, or what? Are we still
absolutely not.
Okay.
If you pull the Miriam, that's out the door tomorrow, even though it's tomorrow.
Team Star. Oh, yo, Miraidon. I kind of like this Miraidon though, and don't get mad at me for sleeving them. The ones that I like. He says he's giving away a pack to the best Ernie compliment.
Yeah, the person who compliment me the most will get a free pack. Shipping and bring it to Australia and New Zealand. Only United States. Okay, let's go. Oh, what is that?
Annihilate. Getting annihilated
you got
at this point.
Yeah, you got right. Hey, man, at least you got the promo. Bro, how much is the ETB? Like 50?
It's like 42 or something.
Okay, that promo and a 10 will get your money back. You're good. It's plus EV.
Right. I mean, I'm going to grade that thing like ASAP. I like that it comes
Rocky.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it's gonna. It looks like it's packaged nicely too, so I don't think it's gonna get damaged. I'll look at it afterwards. I'll see what we think. Good Lord, man! Well, this is just like I'm having flashbacks from.
All right, hold on, time out. I know what you're doing wrong. Here, I'm gonna tell you what you're doing wrong. Okay, love you to death. Here's what you're doing wrong. You don't got no sleeves. You gotta get sleeves. You gotta put the sleeves right there. Okay, you got sleeves. All right, you're good. You're good. All right, you're not doing nothing wrong.
I got this shit. I'm only sleeving the ones that are worth sleeving, like the Miraidon Hollow. Annihilate. You want me to sleeve the Annihilate? Okay. The Rotom's dope.
Bro,
I wish that was
we don't sleeve nothing that's not a SAR or a well-centered AR. That's all we sleeve.
Listen, this one Australian guy told me to grade literally everything, and so hey
yo,
let's go.
Sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool $9.99.
until Friday, and then it's $1. All right. That's fine.
It only takes one, man. It only takes one, baby. It only takes one. That one pack. Pull the Moonbreon.
Yeah, I need that Moonbreon, definitely. Like, that's the thing. Like, when I think about if I want to spend $5 on a booster pack of Scarlet and Violet, that's just going to be, like, outclassed by the next set that comes out, or do I want to buy, like, into the banger end of Sword and Shield era set? Oh, yo. Okay.
Hey,
okay.
Double hit? Boy, if you that energy shit at the end kills me.
Oh,
that's
man.
pretty good, bro. You're already plus EV. You're free. I think you're free rolling.
Free rolling?
Yeah, like you already made your money back. $40.
That'll be that'll be like $3. You know, hold up. Where my sleeves? I need more. There's so many, bro. ETB. All right.
Nah, can I see the promo real quick? Like, can you like pull it up? Pull it up, Jamie. That's not bad, bro. I like it. He's a little snake, you know, thing. Wait, is it centered? You might be. Oh, fuck it. We're doing it live. Walrus says Josh needs that whatnot energy drink. Where's the price wheel at? Yes, that is a correct 10. I think a good 10. 60, 40. It's a little. No white? How's the back?
Let me look. Little white dot.
English, man. What can you do?
It's English, yeah. Yeah, I got to open up a whole case. Oh, there's one on the bottom, too. Yeah, you're going to have to open up a whole case of these just to get like one or two that are going to 10. It's just like any other English promo card, which, to be honest, I like that. I'm not trying to cap on you or anything. Like, I legitimately think that scarce, that population control, just due to the shit print quality, is something that makes it a little bit more fun to chase. This one could 10 though. Like, are we selling this raw? Or are we sending this to get graded? That's like a $20 PSA 10.
No, dude, we grade that. We grade that.
That's literally a $25 PSA 10 in like 1 week.
bro, you grade everything because you got, you know, you have an advantage, bro. Just ship it tomorrow and whatever.
Yeah, the thing is,
somebody will buy it.
English, like, you really gotta be careful about grading English. Like, Japanese, yeah, you just grade everything. It's easy mode because people overpay for it, because I don't think people realize yet that it's just all 10s. They think it's like English. Iron treads. Like, isn't that some shit you put on your fucking tires when you're in the snow? Wait, what is this?
So apparently, we got a celebrity here in the chat. Mason Cardinal Gaming, and he said to you and I that, I quote, "You're smoking dust if you grade that."
That's what I'm saying.
Now, I've never been more disrespected in my life. Pull it back up, Jamie. Pull up that bug. Pull up that thing. Pull it up, bro. That's in a black label in a pristine gold, man. All right, bro. Oh, happy birthday, by the way, Mason.
Oh, Mason, what are you doing here on your birthday, bro? What the fuck?
Happy birthday, Hans.
There's so many better things you could be doing, and yet you're here. I feel so honored and yet disrespected at the same time. Lechon?
Lechon?
Ooh,
you know what Lechon means?
This Miraidon is way cooler and will definitely garner more of a premium than the freaking Spider. If I can. This will be a better PSA 10 than this. I promise you.
It's a little, yeah. All right, come on. Come on.
Mason, we love
I'll
you.
tell you
Thank
what.
you for being here, Mason. Slowpoke.
You know what?
Plus
you know, maybe I am smoking dust, Mason, you know? But guess what? I'm smoking less dust than the average dust being smoked by the dust smokers. Just put it that way. Go ahead, though.
Would the woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? pounds. So.
Wait, do we grade that crab? I mean, it's an AR. You know,
Listen,
probably get 40. You get 40 for that, bro.
I'm at the point where if it's an English AR, if I think I'm gonna pre-grade it afterwards, because like Walrus said, if I do this every single card, it'll be. I'm at the point though with English, if I can grade it in a 10 and it's like one of those full arts, I will actually grade it because I do think that they're pretty difficult to grade. Hold up. I almost forgot. The Hound. He's kind of cool. He can go in the hollow stack.
Okay, let's go. Right here, Josh.
You're about to win this ETB battle, bro. You're just going to win it based on the promo alone, literally. Oh, that's dope, though. The Growlithe.
That's fire.
That's actually
right here. Ooh, 2 for 2?
How come I can't get the other one? Just because it's like they only put the Koraidon and the Koraidon ETBs. All right.
That's a huge hit, bro.
Huge hit. Huge. Right. So I've lost currently close to like $60 opening this shit today, if you include the build and battle that I opened too. So let's go ahead. Let's lose some more money.
Well, I tell you what, bro. If you want, I'll just let you open another one because there's no way I'm not beating this ETB. Like, you know.
No, you're up next, bro. You're gonna get the the Miriam and the Miraidon and all this shit because I heard that it's easy. What's his name? What's his name? Danny Phantom. I love the guy. He said it's easy to get a master set, so you're gonna get like 2 Miriams here, right?
All right, bet. So, matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and give away the first pack of the ETB, Josh.
All right, who are we giving it to?
I'm gonna give it away. I'm gonna give it away to a young lady, a young lady, who may or may not have had a rough weekend. Okay, I will be giving you a free pack. First pack. I swear to God, if you pull the secret rare, I'm jumping to the saddest girl in the. Oh hell yeah, that's the one I wanted, bro. That's the one I wanted, Holmes. Wait, pull it up a little bit. Hey yo, that centering is a little heavy on the left, but
it's a little heavy on the top too. But you want to take it out? You want to see? You want to keep it? Pre-grade it yourself?
Yeah, just leave it. Yeah, just leave it, dude.
All right.
Go on. Oh shit! Right here.
Which one? This
Let's
one?
go.
Hold on, Thrifty.
The first one. That one. The first one. Yep.
All right, this is it. This is the one. Hold up, though. We didn't even do this.
Oh, that's fire, dude. Is that like $5? Can I eat off of that or not?
Right now, probably. Yeah, shit. All right, and then the rest of that shit is just stuff. Okay. That's cool though. That's hella cool.
Hell yeah, bro. I actually like that one more, I think, than I like the lizard too. Pause, but I like the
Miraidon more. I'll be honest. Why do they still have to color the black and white code cards? That sort of makes me a little bit mad. Like, why do they do that? Now that they have hollows in every pack.
Let's go. Oh, I got the crabs. Let's go. Quaxley, we grade that.
You already got it. You already.
Yo, handle them with care, Holmes.
Quaxwell?
Yes, got. Yes.
Bro, there's something shiny, bro. I see something shiny in here.
You're dusted.
Oh,
let's go.
That's one of the only good cards, bro. Literally one of the only good
with
cards.
the dubs, dude. Let's go,
Thrifty. Literally one of the only good cards in the whole set.
Let's go.
That's legit.
Life is pretty good after all.
Thrifty, have you seen these in person? Like the English? Yeah, have you done any pre-release packs? Like, look at the extra sparkle on. See the edge?
That's crazy, dude. That card looks beautiful.
Oh, dude,
that's the centering on that.
No, hold up.
Now you like the set? Now you pulled a dog and you like the set. Okay.
No, but the actual foil pattern on the EXs is really cool. It looks pretty good. This could.
It's a 10, bro. It's a 10, bro. Put that in a card saver yesterday, home.
For an English card, that could definitely 10, Thrifty. Yeah.
Thrifty, you are golden.
Well,
this is where it ends.
Now it doesn't matter who needs a signature when you've got an Arcanine. EX. You know?
Correct.
It makes it all
Same
better.
Basically the same.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Time to
now
pull up
let me
Miriam.
see. Do I want to give out this pack too? But nobody's complimenting me, dude. They didn't, you know, nobody's talking to me nice, dude. Okay, let's see. Ooh. Okay, yeah. Yep. You're not seeing anything. Ooh, I got the hypno. Yes.
Hypno. Beach court. Dude, beach court.
Yeah, that's my house.
Oh, let's
Oh,
go.
hell yeah, dude. We're gonna grade that, baby.
Oh, bro, the Magikarp is dope, actually. I'll set that
The
aside.
reversey? That's a hit.
Dope. And then the Houndstone. Okay.
Oh, fire, dude.
Okay.
Damn.
Hold
I'm
up,
not gonna lie.
The Magikarp, I'm not gonna
liking
lie.
this.
I'm not mad at the Magikarp. I'm not actually mad at
How
it.
can you be mad? It's beautiful.
With the silver borders, it looks kind of dope.
Dude, I'm gonna black label that and sell it to you for 1,200. Watch this. Well, I can tell you what, man. There's nothing I'd rather be doing right now than ripping whatever this set is called with the homie. Tell you that right now, and the homies in the chat.
That's the thing about Pokemon is it is just kind of a fun look. There we go.
Ooh, my reverse hollow pull rate, dude.
Another one.
Dude.
Wow.
Oh, we take that. Okay. We super take that. Big grill. Put that double sleeve.
Yeah. I know you want that one.
Yo. That's gas, dude.
Actually kind of what up though? Slowpoke though? Slowpoke?
Big well,
Charvy? Where are you at?
H22?
Where you at?
Gate. Yes. I love me some H22. Uh-oh. Hold on, I saw something. I saw a wing. I saw a green wing.
Oh, let's go. Sandaconda, bro.
Okay, come on, man. Let's do it. No, we don't need that. Nothing. Uh-oh. It's a gold? Hey, yo!
Let's go.
Let's go, dude.
Okay.
Sleep, Holmes.
No, we don't care about
Hey, yo, oh, what?
$100, $80, 70, 60, 50. List it while we're live.
How's the centering? Yo, 80 shipped. Whoever in the chat, 80 shipped. Hit me. But oh, that's a good hit, dude.
The centering's good on the back, and it doesn't have any whitening either. That's nice. I'm not seeing any of that chewed up shit. Hold on. No, it looks good. Yeah, it looks good actually.
So, if I was on your stream, would you try to hustle me to trade it in for like 2 more ETBs, or would you not subscribe to those practices?
No, I've never done that before. Not because I think it's shady. It's just like I don't know. I've never occurred to me to do that.
It'd be like, you did great. You pulled the second best hit. I'll give you 2 more chances. Like,
well, here's the thing. Some dude did that on my stream. I didn't approach them, but they asked me. They hit, what was it?
Hey, I'm printing with these commons, Holmes.
It was something, and they wanted to trade their hit for 2 more ETBs. Yo,
ooh.
I don't even know what the hell that is, but it looks kind of like peaceful. Yeah, but they traded in their commons or their hit for like 2 ETBs. It was worth the trade. And then they opened the ETBs on my stream and just whiffed. And it felt really bad for them. And it felt bad for me. And it felt bad for everyone. So I just generally don't like having to sell an experience where everyone comes out feeling bad. And I didn't even feel good about it, like I said. And I'd made the sale and made the trade. And it came out in my favor. So like for me, that type of streaming just doesn't work out. That's why I think I wasn't cut out to be that type of a streamer. I can't just get away with taking advantage of people and sleep at night.
Yes, Mareeb, Holmes.
It's really dope too. You're getting some good. And then whatever the hell, the Reverum. Okay.
Yep, he's a.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a God ETB, dude.
With your reverses, not bad.
Yeah, we need to hit the Miriam to shut down YouTube. I think we could do it. because I want to shut it down. I want Kai to just faint. Like your Pokemon needs to go to the Pokemon Center after I pull this Miriam. To Kai, mostly.
But if you pull a Miriam and the gold card, dude.
Good night. All right. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-oh.
Greedent.
AR?
Greedent.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Hey, we take that. Whatever that is, we take that. That looks like $40 to me. That's $40 to me.
Yeah, about that. If someone pays $40 for this, I don't know, bro.
Joshy. You don't understand the collectability of English Pokemon. Walk with me. Let me explain to you. If it's in English, the floor is 40. Go ahead, though. Damn, this is cool, man.
Lucario. Oh, that'd be a dope.
Yo, reverse hollow hypno sleeve.
Reverse hollow hypno. Okay.
Sleeve, dude.
I'm setting this aside for you. Oh, what
yes.
Cyclizar? That one's kind of actually dope. What is that?
Yeah, so that's the one that turns into Vroom Vroom. That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. You get me? They're like a motorcycle evolution.
Oh, so he's the, I thought that was a legendary.
Yes.
I didn't know.
Yes, he is a legendary. He's the stage 1.
Oh, that's cool, though. The Cyclizar, that's actually dope. I like the Cyclizar. All right, you got one more, bro.
All right, hold on. Who do we want to give it away? Nah, let's open it. Let's go. I would have given it to Mason, but his birthday ended 40 minutes ago. Too slow, Holmes.
Happy birthday, Mason. Related.
Okay, let's get it. Let's get it.
Rare candy. I heard that's good. Playable.
Wait, you never played the game?
Huh? No, I do. I played the game. I don't currently, but.
Oh, but like rare candies, remember, would level up your Pokemon? Yeah. Go ahead, though.
Pana.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. Well,
yeah.
Can't complain. Really good ETV, Holmes. And I hold you.
Dang, that Bisharp is the other one. That didn't even look like a reverse. Those darks are really hard to tell. It's like, where's the other reverse?
Those are fire, dude.
Okay, well, not bad. Yours was
that was really fun.
You won.
Man, we both won. That was really fun. But I will say this: Thrifty got a free pack and pulled the Arcanine, so she's the real winner.
She should have chosen the second pack.
Ooh, baby! How much you think that'll sell in a 10? Like,
if you're early and quick about it, at least I don't know, $100 maybe, but it'll be under 100 soon.
Yeah, that's a cool card. Super dub.
Okay, let's get this. Hold on, let me.
All right, I was told I need to sit down, so that's what I did. What's goody?
Okay.
That was awesome, man. That was fun.
Yeah, the question is, like, legitimately, you think it's worth something like this? If you had this in your hand today, like, I'm gonna have to ship it to you, and it ain't gonna get to you very quickly because it's gonna have to get to you, go across. But like, if you had it in your hand today, would you like express this like the $75 tier to PSA?
No. If I had that in my hand today, I would check the centering, and if I thought it could get a 10, I might send it to CGC for like the 3 days or something. Or I might just send it to PSA at like 40 maybe. Get it back in like 10 days and sell it into the hype. You know, that's probably what I would do. Send it at 40 and call it good night.
40.
Yeah, that's probably what we'll do, Josh. That's probably what we'll do. I'll just have you ship it out tomorrow. I'll send you
I'm
out,
gonna send
whatever.
a PSA out. Yeah, I need to send one out.
Yeah.
Probably tomorrow, honestly. So yeah.
But you're sending out a bulk sub though, right?
It will be a bulk though, yeah.
But that's what I mean. You can send a 40 sub along with your bulk sub, and it'll also speed up your sub.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's actually true. Has anyone in the chat found that to be true for them when you send multiple subs? I know that it's been a conspiracy theory at 10 for.
No, that's the strat. That's the strat because
okay.
That's the strat because when they scan your label, they like, oh, there's a 40 sub in here, so like we have to get this in, so it gets in before the regular bulk. You get me? So yeah, that's a strat. Like I always try to send the 40 out or two with the bulk subs,
Bro,
unless I have a lot of them. Yeah.
I sent one that had it was just a random bulk submission, and they put it in at 75 somehow, and I had like 3 other orders with it because I had a pack submission, I had another bulk submission. I don't like doing more than 50 in any submission, so I split them up, and just because just the sake of like when it hits your account, like having 50 hit your account is a lot better than having 150 hit your account, and so like it's more manageable for me that way. And so yeah, I had it split up, but like one of them got in as a 75. I wonder if that's gonna push my order because it got put in lickety split, like all my orders did, like with that particular sub. I wonder if that's gonna like make it be expedited. But I also emailed
Well,
them and said, yo, don't you dare charge me $75 for that. That's a $15 order, and you know it. Look at those cards.
no, I think so. This is just a total guess, but what I think is they get inputted faster, Josh, but they don't get graded faster. You get me? Like you like basically the 40 sub or whatever higher tier has to get to you in 3 days. So they have to scan it. And then your other shit is in there. So they're not gonna put you in they're just gonna scan it. But they still gonna sit you in line. You get so I think you might gain a little bit, but it's definitely worked for me a few times. So it's not just like I'm just making it up. Like it's something that I consistently try to kind of do. So it's nice because like for example, look, right now I just sent out a Yu-Gi-Oh sub, right? And it was I forgot how many, but a little bit over 25 cards. And then there was one card that the PSA 5 goes for 600. So I had to send that at like I think 40 or 50 or whatever the higher tier is.
Sheesh.
And then all my shit got inputted immediately, bro. Like the minute it got received, everything is there. Everything is in my orders. Everything is populated because we're working off the time of that expensive card. So that's what I know.
Yeah, I mean, I understand in theory. It does make sense. It's just to me, I'm always a skeptic on that kind of thing, and I just feel like if I do it, it's not going to benefit me any. I'm just like, oh, I'll just do it anyway, but I don't expect it to actually work. You think? Are you going to be at Dallas for Collectacon, or are you skipping that one?
I don't know yet. Probably yes. I think yes. I think I will go. It just depends on how much inventory I have. Because if I don't have any, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
And then because I'm not gonna have a table, I'm just gonna be walking around. So if I have a lot of cash, I'll go. And if I have a lot of slabs, I'll go. Basically, that's the answer. But I think mostly, yeah, I want to go. I have a place to stay. I know you're going, Dan's going. I think Retro's going, or I mean, a lot of people are going, dude. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, I mean,
So
honestly, from my experience selling things in the sales industry, not Pokemon, people from Texas really like to spend money. Honest, especially like things they don't really need to, that are just fun, things they enjoy, hobbies, extra activities and things. And I just think that a Collecticon in Texas is definitely it's the move. So yeah,
you have a table? You got a
yeah,
table?
I got a table. Yeah. I got a table. I don't know where it's at. I forget what section it is. It's with another one of my friends who had a 5 top section, and he had a couple extra tables. I had to pay extra for it because it was like a month after everything had sold out, and I didn't want to go to Dallas. Like, here's what happened. I decided I was going to 2 Collecticons this year. I said I was going to go to Orlando and Long Beach, and those are the 2. Then I went to Orlando, had a great time, did fantastic, printed up, and I was like, you know what? I really should be doing more of these, both for networking reasons. It's fun. I make money while I do it. It's like a win-win in so many ways for me to do Collecticons. And so I made a last-minute decision after Orlando. When I got back, I was like, I'm going to Dallas. Well, guess what? Everyone decided that after Orlando. Everyone decided after Orlando they wanted to go to Dallas. And so, yeah, I got a table, but it cost me a little extra because it was in a time where
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you have to pay up a little bit. Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, so
Nah, you're gonna do great, bro. You're gonna do great. I mean,
I'm not
for
worried
sure.
about that. I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah.
It couldn't come soon enough, honestly. Like, I feel like the way that Collecticons are spread out, the amount that they have is a good amount. It's like every few months, you know. If it was more, I would feel exhausted by it, and I don't think I would want to do that. And I think that's how a lot of the general consensus might probably feel. Like adding one more might be okay, but adding anything more where it's like one every month, I would definitely be way burnt out. I'd go to like one every 3 months, probably, is more realistically what it looks like.
Yeah, man. I mean, even with the whole Jimeno Sig thing, like I was just tired, bro. I didn't have it in me to take another, another flight and another long weekend of not sleeping and like, it's I feel like you want to be professional. Like if I could go back and do Orlando again, I would be a little bit more professional. Like I showed up late the second day because I overslept. The night before we locked ourselves out of the Airbnb. We couldn't find the key. We didn't know the code. Like just shit that like cuts into your business. Because when you're off a 1 hour sleep, it's hard to be energetic. You're. And then luckily some angel, I think it was Thrifty, she like brought everyone McDonald's and we were able to like eat and then whatever, you get that energy and then you're going off the adrenaline of selling or whatever. But bro, you know what it is, like those things are exhausting. It's a lot of work. And like if you saw the little skit or whatever, the little interviews that I did on the channel, everyone is exhausted. Everyone was like, dude, I'm so tired. Like, because you're just on the whole time at those events. And if you're walking, you probably could rest more because you could just kind of fall back. But when you're vending, it's on, it's on the whole time.
Yeah. While you're vending, while you're there, do you like get so I don't know. Like for me, vending one of those events is very likened to streaming a nice 6 to 8 hour stream. It's very, very similar. It's like high energy. I can't get up and leave because if you get up and leave, you lose you lose all your viewership or whatever. So you kind of have to do all your bathroom stuff, all your eating, all your resting, all your, you have to have water nearby. You can't go and get a drink from your table. I mean, I've been most of the events I've ever vended, I used to sell wine and I would vend like events when I was selling wine. I'd go have a table at a convention. I would have to bring all my stuff and set up the table and, sell. It was just like cards, but way more expensive because it's bottles of wine. And so I much prefer selling cards. And so to me, it's just very much so if I bring my inventory, if I have a good way of bringing it, like a good packing setup, it's not that big a deal. Like I can do one of those conventions and not feel that exhausted. But what you're saying is true though, because after the convention, literally
Mm-hmm.
Collectacon, it's not Collectacon. Like I don't mind not seeing any of my friends during the convention in Collectacon. Like I don't see any of you guys during the convention. I don't talk to you. I don't see
At
you.
all,
I
dude,
don't
at
care
all.
either. I don't want to see any of
Yeah,
you
I
guys.
want to see you, bro, but it's
Well,
just
I
everyone's so
don't, because
busy,
you're not
dude.
gonna buy
Like,
nothing from me. No offense, but
that's
I
true.
want to
That's
see you
true.
guys
I get
after
you.
the convention. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
And,
I feel
and
you.
that's
Yeah, I
where
get your point.
all the tiredness comes from. Is like all the shenanigans that happens. And luckily, I will say I didn't feel that bad. Like that happened to me in well, it happened to me in Denver and it happened to me in Long Beach. Long Beach for a different reason. Long Beach, I was a spectator. I wasn't a seller. I just went and like I just kind of walked around, and the line to get in was like 2 hours long. It took so long to get into Long Beach. And then in Denver, when I vended, it was like I got up late because I was out the night before and it was like super, and I was lazy and I didn't wake up super early. And that was a mistake, like you said. So that being professional, huge bonus. Anyone who's thinking about vending, it's worth it trying to be there early just so you can set up for that first
Super.
hour or whatever. Like, because like so many people are going to just walk right by your booth if you're just in there like setting up like fervorously. They're like, oh, I'll just walk by and come back around.
Or like, look,
They're not
I'll
going
give
to
you a
come
good
back
example,
around.
Josh. You'll like this one. You'll like this one. Look, if you get there early, right? And I sound like your dad or whatever, but you're a super beast, and I'm like, I'm, I'm not talking to you necessarily, but what I'm saying is, let's say you get there early, right? You get there right when they open, right? So maybe you sell out of all your shit the last day, 2 hours before they close. So now you have 2 hours to go talk to all these sellers that are incentivized to move shit because they don't want to fly back with it because whatever, they want to move shit. And and you could probably attest to this, like, bro, when you're there and you're in selling mode, you will sell anything. Like if a lady's like, yo, I like your hoodie, I'll be like, oh yeah, right here, dude, like 45, because you're just like, you're on demon time, like seriously, like, and you could end up selling your grail because you're just like so on that money kind of game and comps and whatever, right? So like Retro, for example, Retro got bought out. He got bought out with like 3 hours to spare,
Mm-hmm.
and he ended up being the homie, and he went and he got his food or whatever. But he could have just stayed there and caught licks, like while everyone's wrapping up and the traffic's winding down, and the sellers are like, "Holy shit, I'm running out of time to move 3, 4K in slabs," and you pull up with cash that you have because you sold out, bro. You're gonna win again. You're gonna win and then win again. So it's a subtle art to these events, bro. And you see the mastery of like the people that have been around for a while. Like they do it right. They
The
do,
buyout thing is interesting because now that you say buyout, sorry, but a couple of the
No, go
buyout
for it.
people
Yeah.
who bought out are not going to be, I don't think, buying people out very in the near future here. So I'm curious if that's going to be a thing. Like there's like 3 or 4 big whatnot streamers who go around and like, I don't want to say all their names. I'm sure most people in the chat, if you've been to one of these conventions and you know about the whatnot buyout people, it's like between 3 and 4 people that I can think of off the top of my head that did those. 2 of those people aren't going to be doing buyouts anymore, and one of them was one of the bigger ones, I would imagine. I could be wrong about that. Maybe he's going to continue doing buyouts, but like, do you think that buyouts, Nesto, are like a very important and necessary part of having a good convention? Because everyone in the Discord and everyone in like the Pokemon YouTube space and everyone in like the biggest like buzzword is buyouts, like from the whatnot streamers. So like if you were the average viewer and you were watching these streams, listening to like myself, Dan, any of us talk, you would think that literally you're just always getting bought out. Like every time you go to these streams, you put your shit out, like there's a whatnot streamer who's going to come up and like offer you a buyout. I didn't get literally anything, any buyouts or anything in the last convention. And like, I don't know, I did in Denver. I got bought out in Denver by one of said whatnot streamers. But like, I was so far in the back in the convention in Orlando that none of those whatnot streamers had money by the time they got to us. So, or if they did, they just didn't necessarily throw it out on the table or something. So I didn't see them and I know which ones they were. But like, do you think the buyouts are necessary to have a good time? Or like, what do you think about that whole buzzword buyout culture?
Yeah. So first of all, I have to admit I've been bought out. So, and it feels really good as a seller to get bought out because you save time and you're cool with taking 20%, whatever, 30% off and just moving everything and like just being done, right? And then also, bro, like if you like there's people that are kind of more like dick or whatever, but there's people that are friendly, bro. Like Travis from Whatnot, he came
Yeah,
up to my
Gordon
place
Place.
to
He's
my
great. I love Travis. He's
bro.
a
Travis
classic.
is the man. Travis was like, look,
Yeah.
bro, this is what I want. Tell me how much you want for it. I told him a number. He told me deal.
Yeah,
Like
when Travis comes
it
around,
was movie.
yeah, for sure. When Travis comes
You see what I'm
around,
saying?
he's going to continue to be around. He's not one of those that's going to
But Josh,
buying out. But yeah,
but hear me out. So if somebody came to your table, and you know this because you do the conventions all the time, right? If somebody's buying multiple
well, a
things,
few
you're gonna
times.
give them a discount. You
Oh,
work
for
with
sure.
them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So if a dude's trying to buy 17 CGC 95s that aren't moving because nobody cares, you're gonna say that that's a bad person in the hobby. Like
Oh no,
this
I'm
dude
not
is getting
saying it's
me.
a bad person at all. I'm just saying whether or not it's a good move because, like, say you're wanting to, you sell out at like 60, 70% or whatever. You may have been able to sell out at 100% just for the extra hour or two of extra work. Well, you maybe not sold out, but you probably could have sold a lot. So like you are definitely moving it to keep it moving. And like, I don't know, I've literally turned down offers that weren't good enough, I thought, because I knew that even though it would take me longer to sell things, I would probably get a higher
But
premium
watch
for it.
this, right?
And I don't know. I'm not
So
one
look,
to take a buyout so quickly as like I think a lot of folks are. I guess it's not bad though. I don't think that they're bad by any means.
right? But like for example, look, for example, right? This is just me, and we don't have to agree because we're in also different financial situations. Like I'm way more wealthy than you, so uh, now I'm playing.
Clearly.
But bro, basically, bro, like I you are an absolutely amazing seller, and I know you print super hard. So this is in no way like bro, you sold way more than me in Orlando for sure, 100%. I promise you. Okay. Um, but the thing about the buyouts is that when I'm there, I'm trying to get bought out. I'm trying to sell out, right? Like on the last day with like 2 hours left to go, I still had like 125 celebration packs. some dude came by. He's like, dude, I'll give you $5 for all the packs. I think I was in for like 425 a pack. I'm
Oh,
like,
that's
yeah, I'll
a
take
win.
the $5. That's
Hmm.
a dub.
Yeah, that's a
Now I could
win.
have sold him, but that's what I'm saying. Like, but I was selling him for 6 the day before, so I could have been petty and been like, oh, like I need 550, bro. Take
But
the
then you didn't
money.
have the day. You didn't have the next day to sell them though, so it wasn't a realistic opportunity to sell. So
I'm there to sell out, bro. I'm there to sell out, pretty much.
right,
You
but
get
like
me?
celebrations packs is different than like a PSA 10. I don't know,
I mean,
Japanese,
if it's like, yeah, if it's a grail, then
not a
obviously
grail, but
I'm
like
not
a
gonna.
Japanese base set Hitmonchan PSA 10, or something you're trying to sell that's like easy, like
Oh, I see.
something
Okay, so
that
you bring
you're
up a
going to
good point.
sell eventually for like 100%, but you got to sit on it for another month on your eBay after the fact, and you just got to schluck it back after the convention. Like in those
Okay,
cases,
so right.
I'm not as like motivated for someone to come in and just like sweep me out just for the satisfaction of having my case cleared out. Like I got that big box that's filled with slabs to bring it there. I'm gonna have to put some back and put it in my luggage anyway. So like I'm there to sell, yes, but I'm not there to sell at 60%. You know what I mean? I'm there to sell at 100%, or okay, 80% maybe, sure,
No, I understand, bro.
75%, whatever. But
I understand it. I understand where you're coming from, Josh. 100%. I
and yeah, I'm not trying to like say that people shouldn't be doing it. It's just like I hear these Pokemon YouTube investing channels talking and stuff and talk about and it just makes it seem like buyouts are a culture. And I actually don't think it's that much of a culture. It's something that might happen to you potentially if you've priced your inventory well, if you have enough stuff that you think that someone comes and they see it, they say, hey, how much you want? You're willing to wheel and deal. Like, I mean, I guess I did at the end of the day, I did accept a buyout that I feel like maybe was good and wasn't at the same time for me. Like I had a bunch of singles left over that I literally had already pre-graded, and like I just didn't want to take them back, and I sold it to some whatnot
Hell
streamer
yeah,
that I
sell
knew
all
he
that
was just
shit.
gonna sell on his stream. And I was just like, okay, whatever, take it. I don't care for like 50% of what I was hoping for because I literally didn't care about them. And I get that too. So I'm not here to say that I don't ever take them if people are like hearing that.
I
I'm just talking,
I do want to
I'm just
say
shooting the shit,
no. I hear you. I just want to say this though. I wouldn't take 70% on like a really expensive card, right? Like if I have $1,000 card, you're not getting it for 700, puppy. I don't give a fuck what you're buying. Like respectfully, we're talking about junk slabs. We're talking about 9.5 Oshawatts. You know what I mean? That nobody cares, or like random shit that didn't 10.
Mm-hmm.
And they're giving you 17 $19 a slab when you're in for 13 at CGC, for example, just like to throw a random number, to where like you're still making $6 on something you can't even move, and you had the whole weekend to move and did not move.
Yeah,
Thank you
and
very much. I
you
love the
hope
buyout.
that they
Thank
come
you.
by. Yeah, you want them to come by at
Pull up.
but I'm talking about like, it's Saturday evening and you still have Sunday. You're gonna go Sunday to the event, and a whatnot streamer comes at the end of Saturday. He says, hey, I want to buy you out of everything, and you're gonna have the whole day the next day, but you're gonna have nothing. And you're like, well, can you come back tomorrow? He says, no, I'm only here today. I need to do this right now. Like, are you selling for 70% when you have the whole next day to potentially print, and then you're gonna have nothing to do? You're literally gonna be, I mean, you have plenty to do. You hang out with your friends, you walk around the convention, but like I don't
You could
know.
source. You could source.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you get a whole 9 hours at a convention. Are you crazy? Like with money in my pocket, bro, I'm doubling that shit. Like I mean, hopefully, I mean, whatever optimism, but you know
I
what I mean?
find
Like,
that coming, I don't know, did this happen to you while you're at the event? Did anyone ever come up to you and like want to trade in stuff or like sell you their collection or
yeah,
sell you? Like it happens so
yeah.
often that like I find that the first Collectacon I went to, I tried to source. It was Long Beach. I was just trying to buy stuff and source it. I didn't find very much. I personally found much better success having a table, having stuff at the table, and having people come in and want to trade for my stuff, or have me buy their stuff at like 65 70%. Because while I'm not trying to sell my shit at 60% 70%, I'm certainly trying to buy at like 60 50 70%. Well, the lowest I can possibly go, that's what I'm buying at, but I'm not selling at that. That's the difference. So like people are going to hear that and that's going to be misconstrued. They're going to be like, wow, what a scammer. But that's just the reality. Is like I'm a reseller. I need to buy low and sell as high as I possibly can. And I'm not gonna lie and say that that's not what's happening. But like am I there to sell at 70%? I don't know. And I don't know. I also find that sourcing things, for me, walking around buying from vendors, unless I know the vendor personally, like literally as a friend, I'm not going to get a good deal from them. They're literally buying, they're going at market price. And like, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of different. It depends
Well,
on the
I will.
situation, I suppose. Every situation is different because, like you said, if it's all junk slabs, yeah, get out of here, like get it out. But like some inventory, I might not want to like just drop. I guess.
No, I understand, bro, and that's on you, and that's based on your liquidity too, right? Because if you're good and you have 100K ready to, you don't need to take the 30% L, and you can just even sell it on eBay and lose 13 per, whatever 20%, let's call it, and make your little 10% that you don't care because you already have plenty of money. That's fine. I think for me, it's like I'd rather not vend for 7 hours. Like the guy's paying me to not work. Like, it's like, hey man, do you want to not work tomorrow and take 70%? Like, yes, please. And then I'll have a day off with all the money. Like, to me, that's a super dub. Like when Retro got bought out, I was jelly. I was like, dude,
yeah,
he has
I went
3 hours. He's chilling. He's gonna go get a coffee.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, good for him. Like, bro, he's chilling.
He was not there when I went to try to find him. That's how I knew he got bought out. He's just gone. I was like, yo, where's Retro?
He just got bought out.
Yeah, he got bought out. He's gone.
I'm like, and then Colson was late to get him bought out because we were getting coffee or something, and then come back, went to the bathroom, came back. Colson's bought out. Cases on the floor, completely bought out. I go, how much? I don't even want to say how much because I don't know if he wants to keep that private, but he printed, and like, I'm like, wow, dude, like must be nice to get bought out. And me and Thrifty are looking at each other like kicking rocks, like didn't get bought out. And then super like 2-3 hours later was that Travis came by, like bought a bunch of my stuff and like even bought some other stuff. And then, dude, I almost sold out of everything. I think I took home like one plushie and an ETB or something. Like I'm almost all sold out. So it's great, bro.
I don't know. I typically, I had a couple of people come up and give me some lowball offers and I just turned them down. And it could have been like a potential, like, I mean, they're like 60-65%. And I just wasn't into it. And I mean, I'm not trying to say that that's not a good idea, but I definitely feel like managing my inventory. I typically try to bring things I know can sell and things that I feel like I try to bring enough. And as far as like when I buy things, I'm typically pretty careful about how much I buy based on how much I know I typically can sell. And I feel like my general overall estimation skills have been, from experience, I think, just honed in with that. So I don't feel like I was really lugging back a ton, and I didn't get bought out, but I sold most of what I needed to.
Bro, you are an absolute monster of the conventions, bro. I took half my shit from you from Denver. Like I legitimately, bro, seriously, I had mystery boxes. I had packs. I had a shit ton of packs. I had a silly hat. Bro, I literally copied your whole swag, bro.
I appreciate that, honestly. That's like, they say imitation is the highest form of flattery. So that does actually mean a lot to me. So thank you.
You super printed at Denver, and I saw how good you were with people and how good you were with the kids and the families that didn't know shit. And you sat there and you broke it down and you told them. And like that shit goes a long way, bro, because I had people coming back to the table just to hang out with me. Like, hey, what's up? Like, remember us? Like, and that's what you want to really do. Like, that's what I like, bro. I like doing good business and like making those connections with people, So
yeah,
like to you, it might just be like, oh, I'm wearing a funny hat, but it's like you're making their day, or like,
no, the hat's important. Like the Magikarp hat, that thing right there. Where is it?
Oh yeah, I see it.
That's super important, like for the whole thing. Like if I didn't have the Magikarp hat, I would have to wear some dumb, really bright, whatever. I'd have to wear a yellow Pokemon suit or something, whatever it is. Branding's important. It's not branding, I guess, either. It's just like being able to be approachable. So, and that's the thing about being a like streamer. It always, and I was a salesperson before I was a streamer too. I was in sales. That was my like active profession. So like, it's all about just how you talk to people. And I just enjoy, like you said, interacting with everyone. And honestly, one of the best things that happens going to those conventions is, now that I've been to many of them, is when people do come back, and like when people have said, hey, I've seen your YouTube, or I bought from you on whatnot, or I've lurked in your streams. Like I love hearing about when I see families who say that they watch me together. Like I'll see a couple and their kid and they'll say that they watched like my streams, and it's just kind of like
That's cool.
gratifying to hear.
That's
So
awesome, man.
that is honestly one of the best things about it, is that situation, and having a table helps with that. So it is for me worth it having a table just so that I can have a base, you know, a home base sort of.
For
So,
sure, bro.
yeah.
Bro, I had a guy, so I can think of a few, whatever, but I'll just share this one with you, right? I had a guy who came by and he bought 17 packs from me, okay? And I could tell he was gambling, Josh. I could tell he was gambling, okay?
Mhm.
Like he's just like super wired as fuck, like definitely on something, talking hella fast, like chittering, chattering his teeth, and he's like, "Yo, I need 17 packs." Like, dude was buzzing, okay? I'm like, bro, you got it. 17 packs. That's a big order. I'm like, here, bro, take an extra pack. Here's one on me. Like, take a celebrations pack or whatever.
Mhm.
The guy goes, all right, bet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Leaves, comes back 30 seconds later. He goes, give me 17 more. You get what I'm saying? So there's other people that also will take you the free card or the free gift and never come back or whatever. But in general, sometimes, like, let's say you give something to someone, then the other person in line also sees you do it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
The
almost
more
like
you give,
you get what
yeah.
I'm saying?
The more you give, the more you get. It's always been that way.
Yeah.
Like it's always felt selfish being more selfless because of the rewards that typically came from it. So like, I mean, that's just one of those things that I think that anyone who tries to, it's like, I don't know how scammers can get away with doing what they do
Yeah.
for any amount of time, because like, it just can't like, you have to be a good person to, you just be a decent person and like
Yeah.
exist,
And
and you'll
and
be
it works.
rewarded.
And it works. And it
Yeah,
works.
and it
Yeah,
works. You'll
like
be rewarded over time for it.
yeah.
It's not even over time. You'll be rewarded very quickly usually.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, good rewards good. It comes back. So I don't know. Yeah, it's very much so. That's what always baffled me about like seeing that exists within any hobby, and especially this hobby where we're also connected online. Like when you have literally people who are out there scamming every day or whatever, and they continue. It takes a rattle video to like to then
Mm-hmm.
expose them. Is like, what is going on here? How is this existing? That being said,
Yeah.
I wonder if Scarlet and Violet packs can be weighed or not. I'm very curious if they're weighable because of the whole new hollow pattern thing. Anyone in the chat, has you figured that out or not? Is that something that we need to be worried about?
Yeah, man. I don't
Scams.
know. We can try weighing some.
I don't have any loose ones to weigh right now. I literally just opened up. I have a couple of loose build and battles there that I think are
Mm-hmm.
pre-purchased that I have to ship out tomorrow.
What else
And
you
I
have, bro?
have
You have anything cool? You have anything cool to show off? Anything on your desk? Anything like around you that you're hyped on? What you got over there? Hey, yo. Rock Pokemon has entered the chat.
this little guy. This little guy has been with me since I was in like the 3rd grade. That was one of my. Okay, speaking of rock Pokemon, here, hold up. Where's that?
Okay, yep, we got the ass shot, guys. My work here is done. We did it. Let me see, man. What you got over there? Is that a binder, bro? That looks That looks a lot like a. Hey, yo.
Speaking of rock Pokemon, he
What?
was talking about this the other day. He wanted me.
That's fire.
He posted a picture. This is Instagram, and I was like, "Yo, I remember that. I had that when I was younger." He wanted to show
That's
something off.
fire.
Isn't that cool?
Damn, yeah.
Look at that Pikachu riding the broom, and
That's
like,
amazing, dude.
there's
Shit.
so
I don't
many.
have anything that cool here.
I was a kid and I used to, the only thing, well, and that's not true. One of the things that I look forward to the most was getting my monthly subscriptions from like Scry, Inquest, Wizard, Beckett, all those different price guys, like magazines, TCG, whatever. Because they had the coolest shit in them, dude. Like, that was something I just threw away. Like, that was just in my binder. I had that, like, in with all my D&D books, and I found it later on in life. I was like, this is cool. But when I was a kid, that wasn't cool. Like, I just wanted the stuff that had, like, the booster packs in it, had cool promos. It would always, like, when new games would come out, they would put, like, the new sample cards or like the first cards from those games would go into those magazines and they'd have like a section on it, and I'd always read them. But yeah, like I love those magazines. Those things are dope. That's some of the coolest stuff that I've collected. Actually, I have more of them.
Hey, what's goody? Are you gonna grade that, Josh?
Nah, that's not. It's probably. I mean, I just don't
Grade
want
it, boy. Grade that show with CGC. Get a
It's gonna get like a
9.6.
4. It's gonna get like a 5 or a 6. It's not gonna be a 10, and I don't really care about it in like a 5 or 6. Like
It's only 50 to grade. Yo, what's up, Kosi? What's poppin', boy?
Hello.
What's up, Colson?
How are
Okay,
you?
I have to clarify some things as I'm now
Okay,
here.
talk to me.
Please
Clear the
do.
record,
Okay,
bro.
I have 2 things.
Yes.
I'm here to talk shit, and I'm here to get hit, but without the second part.
Okay. Colson may or may not be intoxicated. How are you?
No, I'm not intoxicated.
No,
Dark
at all.
Colson.
I haven't drinking anything tonight.
Man, Colson, you looking kind of buff, my boy. That gym? Let me see, my boy.
Where you
Looking
been?
right.
Is this your first stream? Is this your debut back to YouTube since your dark period?
Dark period? What does that mean?
That was a
It's
dark
like-
period?
it's
I didn't know about this.
It's like your blue period, but dark.
Bro, I always been dark. Don't get it twisted. But no.
What's in your mind, man?
What
Talk to me.
y'all been talking about? I just tapped in.
We've been talking about a whole lot of nothing, man. Nesto literally destroyed me in an EV battle. He pulled your favorite Pokemon.
Yeah.
Probably, and then he got the promo to go along with it.
Hey, hey. Double banger
That's
pack.
fire.
And then I got like a graveyard or something. So like, should I be happy? Like the graveyard? Is that good? Like, you're the expert on this kind of thing, right?
Ooh.
How you doing, Colton? What's new, man?
No, I'm good. I'm okay. Just, business going crazy on the eBay recently. I have kind of neglected my eBay for a minute, I feel. So I'm just trying to start taking it way more seriously and
By
consistently.
neglect it, what do you mean by neglect it? As in, like, you haven't been posting your 5-10 dailies?
Yeah, I haven't been doing any daily listings. I have just like thousands of like raw cards that I'm now starting to like get into that have just been like accumulating for what, like 7 years now. So like kind of opening up those boxes. It's good. It feels good to like feed the algorithm because it kind of all just comes right back to you and helping you, and having a lot of sales every day is a good feeling for sure, as opposed to like very sporadically listing, selling the one-off things here and there. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like a daily consistent thing, even if you're in this shit like consistently and daily, right? So I think that's like a big step. But
Now,
yeah.
So do you list on eBay a lot? Are you a big eBay seller at all? Or are you kind of more of a casual seller on eBay?
Nah, I sell a lot, bro. I sell on eBay mostly. That's like where I run most of the sales. So I'm on that same grind, like just trying to get the listings up and trying to stay consistent and stuff, and then actually having more like different like variety in the store, like so that people come in from like different searches. And then like maximizing like the search terms so like more people get to your listing. But it's a whole art. Like honestly, eBay is a whole career. Like you learn something new every day about eBay, for real. But the things that we already learned, we have to continue doing, and that's kind of the hard part.
That's been
Yeah,
really
right.
new
Yeah.
for me. Like eBay is sort of a new. I've been on eBay for 13 years, but it hasn't been the platform that I sold on a lot. And so like I never was daily listing. Like I would list, put what I wanted to sit on my eBay essentially, and I didn't care about the algorithm. I just wanted to be there, so it was there, and I would just let it sit. And then I would list a bunch of other stuff, and I'd let that sit, and things would sell as they would sell. Prices wouldn't be updated. It would just not. It would get stale. It'd sit. It would be it just wouldn't be good for overall sales growth, I don't think. And so after leaving Whatnot, before leaving Whatnot, I started sort of like looking a lot more into the algorithm and looking at like daily listing. And I found Daily Refinement, which is an awesome YouTube channel that I know a lot of you guys probably know about. Everyone in the chat, Daily Refinement, great YouTube channel if you haven't checked it out, just for general reselling on eBay. And I started taking it a lot more seriously too. And I noticed also an increase in sales. It's like, went from sporadically to being more consistent.
That shit
And
works.
the views, like I'm always watching, like whenever like I pull up my eBay app, I'm like scrolling through like, all right, how many views and watchers, like whatever. And like it definitely makes a big difference. So like it's something that's hard to do though. Like if you're not doing it like consistently every day, it's really hard to work it into your routine. So that's something I've tried to do, and I've been pretty decent about it. Like I've actually run out of inventory. I've had
Honestly, bro,
for other things.
like if it wasn't for Daily Refinement, I don't think I would be here right now. And I want to say only Daily Refinement got me here.
I feel like Daily Refinement is one of those channels that I hear people in the Pokemon sphere talk about a lot, but no one's actually like saying the name or talking about it a lot. So it's good. It's getting a little spotlight. Too bad it's on this like nobody channel, the old card shop. Like the hell was that?
There was another YouTuber. I forget his name. It was like Spectre Deck or Nectar Neck or something. And he was talking
Tech Deck Collectors, Tech Deck
Collector Deck.
Yeah, something.
Collector Specs or something.
Collector
anyway, he was talking about some of the Daily Refinement things, but
yeah, he's definitely
dude, eBay Prince.
I've never talked to that guy, but he seems like he's got good like ideas occasionally. Unless I don't know, maybe I'm thinking of someone else, but yeah, but other than that, like for me, I feel you, Colson. The eBay thing is a totally it's and from what you said, Nesto, like being able to list daily and like see that difference, it's a huge difference. Like it's game changing. So like I definitely.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah, what?
How often do you guys send out offers? Like, and how many watchers? Like, because like for example, I have 95 watchers on an item, so it's like, dude, I'm sending out offers the minute literally eBay lets me. I'm just sending out offers.
I was like, say, like, 90, that's pretty often. Somebody's got 95 watchers. Like, what the hell do you have 95 watchers and hasn't sold? Like, you thought about lowering the price a little bit?
I'm not spilling no type of plays on this non-Patreon.
Okay.
Like, I'm not all set.
Like I'm pretty sure if I have something with 10 to 15 watchers, it's gone. Like it's like,
yeah, normally that would be true, but there's a lot of broke boys out here just window shopping that just throw it on the watch list and never actually purchase. And so
how expensive is that item?
Bro, it's 75. It's not even that crazy, dude.
Well, that shit should be.
Slide into my Discord DM, and I'll give you an invite. You can come on here. Plenty of room.
Oh yeah, wasn't the topic tonight Scarlet and Violet, or am I?
Yeah, we talked a little bit. We opened some ETBs. I complained. I maybe got put in my place a little bit because there's some cool cards in here. It's just some like
good cards,
there's a base set, man. It's still a base set. Like I don't know. I'm not out here. I'm not thinking I'm gonna like throw a couple of cases in my closet yet. I'm gonna sell it all. Literally, I'm not going to keep any booster boxes. I'm pretty sure there's going to be at least 1 or 2 more reprints of the set. And that's when I'll probably stash my boxes. But after this comes out, I might not even buy more Scarlet and Violet because when the new set comes out, it's probably going to be even better. Because like, how long did it take for Sword and Shield to get rolling? What was it? Like we got Sword and Shield, Rebel Clash. Those are horrible. Then you had Darkness Ablaze. That was horrible too. And then you had what was after Darkness Ablaze?
You had Champion's Path and then Vivid.
And that was the start of it was bad, but it was better than those first 3 sets because it gave you something to chase from those Charizards, right? But it was still pretty bad.
Dude, I can already hear like squeaks like furious right now. You're calling Rebel Clash bad.
Yeah, I know. It's the favorite set of all time.
Yeah. So I have
DMs or find your DMs or something. There's a link for you.
I have a hot take. I think Scarlet and Violet base set is the best base set we've had in 20 years.
I would agree with that sentiment. I just still don't think it's very good. That's all. Like saying that isn't saying much. Every set is the best set of all time. You know what I mean?
No, but I've never felt that until like I don't think Evolving Sky is the best set ever. Like I just think all that shit's dumb. But if we're talking base sets, like I mean, to me, it's probably the best base set ever. Like because I don't even like base set. You know? Oh, here
Hey,
he is.
yo.
Yay!
Oh,
What's
brother.
up, bro?
Damn,
Oh,
he's
man.
got the good cam from the top.
I know.
Okay,
He's
I
making
Now we
see
have
what's
the
up.
wide angle.
Literally making
Oh wow, I got you guys going twice.
You're good. What's good, bro?
I was like,
Welcome to the
whoa,
channel.
that's
Thanks for coming
a lot
on.
of noise.
Yeah, brother.
Am I looping? Like, do you guys hear yourself through my mic?
No.
No, you're good.
Dope. StreamYard's pretty good with that, actually.
Yeah.
You're just in
You're
time.
good,
I was just
Squeaker.
talking about Rebel
Dang,
Flag.
I need what Ernie's got going on over there. We're at the
Freaking
Disco.
strobe.
EN concert now.
I'll do a podcast with you. Bro, I got a little flash, a little narco. Yeah, anyway, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm just packing orders. And then I heard Rebel Clash was bad, so I thought I had to show up.
I knew that would be the bat signal. Yeah, I know exactly.
You gotta defend it.
That's cap right there. That's that is a bad opinion. So,
I will say the Ninetales and Rebel Clash doesn't get enough love because I was on a stream one time opening Rebel Clash packs for someone who they just bought them from me and I was totally negging them. I was like, oh, these Rebel Clash are horrible. Like, there's nothing in this set. I'm so sorry. And they bought them for like $4 a pack when it was like a year ago. So, you know, it was. I think they were looking for playables. And they hit the Ninetales and it stopped me in my tracks. It literally stopped. I was like, this set is okay. I was just like in the middle of watching Shippuden, and I was like, Ninetales is super cool. I was like, it was my first watch through of Shippuden, and Madara was just, I don't want to spoil much, but like, it was a whole big thing. So like, I agree with some things about Rebel Clash, but man, that set, when it first came, that was the set that like I first bought into with Sword and Shield. I was on the whole Hidden Fates like grind during that time. Like I didn't want nothing to do with any modern except for Hidden Fates and maybe Shining Legends if there was no Hidden Fates. And so like I would buy occasionally the Cosmic Eclipse, the Team Up, but then like Sword and Shield and Rebel Clash came out. I wanted nothing to do with those sets. Like my fiance and I looked at both of them and we were like, do we want to buy a booster box to open? I was like, no, I don't think I do. And that was it. And we waited. And then we bought into Champion's Path when it eventually came out. That's what stopped us from getting the Hidden Fates, which was, well, I mean, that and it stopped being available. But
I will say Rebel Clash is definitely more structured as like a competitive base set. With just like some really good collector cards in there. Like Melodic and Ninetales both are really slept on.
Oh yeah, the Melodic. I forgot. You're right. Thank you.
Yeah. But like, and that's usually how Pokemon does set too. Like if you think back, like Guardians Rising historically, Flashfire, like yeah, I did have Charizards, which made it a major collector set. But like Lysander was in that set. PCL was in that set. So like, you know, eventually Kangaskhan, which, you know, Crazy Punch Kangaskhan became a thing later and got a Worlds deck. So, like, they've usually done set 2 as more of a competitive base, which is why I think they realized, like, Flashfire was actually a bad idea and then changed it moving forward, where the Charizard set was, like, the one after that. So, yeah.
Was there any...
what was that set 2? Or is that set 2?
Flashfire?
That's set 2.
Flashfire was set 2.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I have a question. Was there any redeemable quality in the slightest about emerging powers?
Back when emerging powers came out, it was a good set. See, that's like the mistake that people
well,
make.
That's what I wanted to ask about, like,
yeah. So emerging powers had
when
Pokemon Catcher, which was huge because that was pre-errata. So that was like a $15 uncommon or something like that. And Gardevoir was a hollow that was like $10 because Gardevoir was really playable.
Okay.
And then what else was in that set that was good? I mean, the Tornadus and the Thundurus both were like viable, right? Tornadus was being played in this like big basics type deck with like Buffalant and Sky Arrow Bridge and Celebi, and pretty much just ran train all over every single state tournament that went through. So that was like the full art way to bling the deck out. And then Thundurus was played with Zekrom and Electric. So that was more of a tech, but like, again, if you wanted to bling it out. So like back then, like even Black and White, which only had the Reshiram and the Zekrom, you know, you were coming off the back of like full arts weren't a thing in HGSS. So that was like a huge deal alone. I just think Pokemon eventually realized like maybe we need more than 2, right? Because it makes the set pretty stale once you've opened a few boxes. But those sets were actually like perfectly fine. It's just that they got like sometimes when, you know, I watched the live with Pokenomics and Nostalgianomics, and they went over a lot of things. But one of the things Jake mentioned is like how things can be obsolete. And I think that's kind of like, I don't like that general assessment, but I do think that's like a good example maybe of what he could be referring to there, is how emerging powers in Black and White were made obsolete by just the rest of the era. But I think that was more Pokemon not understanding how to structure full arts within their new ecosystem, as opposed to like actually then becoming obsolete. Like if there were 6 in those sets, I think we look at Black and White and emerging powers a lot different than what we look at today. So, but yeah.
It's also interesting because there was no emerging powers in Japanese, because the Tornadus and Thundurus were actually in the Black and White base set.
Yeah.
And then they just pulled a lot of holos from Red Collection, BW2 in Japanese, and eventually and kind of split it up between Noble Victories and emerging powers, which is pretty interesting.
You can see their like mindset shift just as the sets went on, right? In Noble Victories, they gave you it was 4 Virizion, Cobalion, Terrakion, N. I think it was 4 full arts. Maybe there was another
and Victini.
So 5. Yeah, I thought it was 5. And then they went even like a step further and went textured full arts with the Black and White, right? Or with Noble Vic or Next Destinies, and then Dragons
EXs. Once they added EXs,
like they were clearly in the process of figuring it out. And anytime you introduce a new rarity, I mean, we've even seen hyper rares like have went through major changes since beginning to end, right? Secret rares went through major changes. Like I'm looking at the camera and the camera's up here. Anyways, went through like major changes, like where secret rares originally were half art, and now, you know, they realized like those are just far less desirable than just like getting a full art bling card. And so then they eventually made them full art, right? The same thing with like secret rares in Next Destinies, where like the, you know, the Gardevoir and the Emboar and those were like the texture and they're cool and they had a little energy symbol, but are also just like not as cool, or at least back then were not as cool as full art cards. So eventually what they do, they made secret rares full arts, right? And then they combined them and made them gold and Snorlax and Chilling Reign and things like that.
And that being said, it leads us to where we are now with Scarlet and Violet, looking like they didn't really throttle back anything at all, which leads me to believe that they have a lot holding up their sleeve for the couple sets in the generation later. And as being the other person who probably buys through distribution and has a store in this stream, I'm curious if you wanted to give it. Are you selling everything, or are you holding a couple, you know, some cases without, you know, because there's no reprint that's in it? Because like I personally, I'm sort of cold on the set for Scarlet and Violet right now. I want to know how you feel about it, like to the point.
Are you asking if I'm like holding cases for like? I'm not
like
sure
for investment purposes, for like you think that we're not going to get a big like. I personally, I'm of the mindset that I'm selling everything right now for Scarlet and Violet, and you don't have to disclose that if you're not.
No, I'm usually pretty transparent. I'm getting distracted by the mini marshmallows. Less about the fact that it's a mini marshmallows, more about the fact that I hear all the crinkling in the mic. It's like I'm
great value.
No, you're good. I like the mini marshmallows. I'm more of a big puff guy, you know, like the big marshmallows. But dang, he turns his camera off. Wow,
we lost him.
Yeah.
Hey man, we're coming back to modern, Nesto. You're here.
My fault. Bro, I just want Squeaks to tell me if my gold card is playable, bro. That's all I want to know, bro.
Which gold
Can
card?
I play it?
This is playable. Miraidon is definitely playable.
Oh, I don't know about Scarlet Violet meta.
Pump it, Squeaks. Pump it. Pump it. We gotta.
I know that card is really popular in Japan, so I don't know if that's because of playability. I think people just like the legendary.
I saw some guy on Facebook saying that he wanted the alternate art for some tournament that was coming up. He needed 4 copies of it to bring out his deck, so I think that's a playable card. I'm pretty sure it is.
But your question about Scarlet and Violet, I'm not like, man, I need to put this back for 10 years right now, because like I do anticipate there will be more Scarlet and Violet waves, but I generally don't sell boxes if I'm going to only make like $2 or something like that. Like
And
the
that's kind of where
margins
it's
of
at
like,
right
because
now.
like I'm not going to price mine $15 above market value and then just
Okay.
like sit there and hope somebody's dumb enough to come buy them. So like if everyone's selling them at like 115 shipped and then I figure out what shipping's going to be and everything like that, and I'm making like $2 a box, I'll just put them on the shelf, right? And see what happens. But if like beyond regulars, obviously regular customers will always make sure they're taken care of. But like, you know, if it's like a healthy margin, like $10 a box or something like that after your shipping and your fees, yeah, I'll just sell them now. Like,
So were you here earlier when we were talking, Ernie and I, and he asked me what I did with Scarlet and Violet, and I said he asked me where I'm selling it, and I said I'm not selling it on Whatnot, I'm not selling it Football Pete on eBay, I'm not selling it on a website because I don't have a website, I don't have a Patreon yet. He goes, where the hell are you selling it? I said I'm not selling it, and I just said I'm selling it all. I'm of the same mind as you. Like, I don't like selling booster boxes when I'm going to make $5 off of it. Basically, like if I'm, that's if I'm doing it through PayPal. I'm not getting
sure. Well, and it comes down to like EV, right? Like there's plenty of ways you can handle like a new set. So like you can take the booster boxes and sell them loose. You can sell cases. You can crack them and sell singles. You can crack them and sell the lower singles and grade the ultras and go that route. Like there's plenty of options, and rarely is like $2 profit like your best option, like the booster box route. And so to me, it's always like weighing out like what is my EV of doing all of these things, and usually there's one that's better than the others, and I'll kind of go that route for however long it works. And if the $2 route is the best, then I will generally just not waste my time with it and do something else, right? I may just list the boxes up and whatever happens, but like I'm just not going to put a lot of time or effort or thought into it, I guess, is kind of like, and that's generally if all of your options are that weak to where like making $2 a box is like your best exit point on a release, it's generally a sign that the set's bad itself, or that the market climate of Pokemon is not good, which right now we know that's not the case. So if that was the case for Scarlet Violet, then that would tell me, and I haven't done the breakdown of the EV of boxes yet, but that would tell me that generally people are pretty lukewarm on the set as a whole, or that stores are just getting a lot more of it than what they anticipated, so they're flooding it into the market to get out from under it.
I don't think there's a lot more of it out in the market that's going to be an issue, but I do think that in about 2 weeks after release, it's going to be dark. It's going to be pretty dark for a lot of the
Yeah, I mean, the market's really absorbing sealed product at a wild rate, and I actually think the market's probably I actually think the market right now, the Pokemon market, I know it's a hot take, but the Pokemon market right now, I think is the healthiest I've ever seen it. And when I say healthy, what I mean is that like the activity that's happening makes sense, that there is genuine interest in these products, that Pokemon is doing a really, really strong job of like balancing supply versus demand. And like everyone's like, well, we're not getting booster boxes, but they're putting packs out there every single day. There's
plenty of product.
And yeah. And that's generally the way that you can safely inject product into the market. In that we're not in some like mania hype phase period, right? I think that's where like right now the market doesn't feel probably as good as what it did in 2020. But you have a lot less of the downside risk of things turning very quickly, which is what we saw. And that's how I feel about it. I know that there's a lot of other differing opinions, but I actually feel like
why do you think that?
At least with like Pokemon as a whole, there are certain aspects within it that I'm more nervous about, but I actually feel like really.
No, I want to know what aspects you're more curious about, what you're more nervous about than that, honestly. I don't even care.
Oh, we know. We know.
We don't
soon, chat. Come on, let's get it out of it.
What are you worried about? Don't pin this on me, brother.
Me? What am I worried about? I'm worried about. Let's see. Yeah, I want to hear what you guys are worried about. That's right, because I already know what I'm worried about. You first.
All right, Ernie, what are you worried about?
What's
got you down bad?
I ain't worried about shit. I'm not worried about nothing. What the fuck is there to worry about?
I'm worried about you guys playing in the Japanese market as much as you do, because that Japanese market to me feels so disingenuous and so.
Where though? Where? Be specific.
The modern
nuance.
The modern Japanese market. I'm sorry. And then the vintage Japanese market is what it is. Like that's all.
But what about modern Japanese? Raw singles, graded singles,
graded. I'm sorry, graded modern Japanese and like first to market prices and sealed. And now it's gotten over to sealed prices because what happened is the graded prices are so high that everyone realizes they can just buy, open, grade, and then sell. So the prices reflect that now. So I don't know. I personally, I worry a lot about modern Japanese more than I ever should because I don't deal in it at all. Like it's supposed to be free money, right? And everyone says how much it's free money, and I just don't touch it. And so I shouldn't be worried about it. But
that's exactly what I was getting ready to say, but I was going to let you finish your sentence.
Yeah, I shouldn't be worried about it.
You don't touch it, and you don't care about it. Why are you worried? Why even waste the emotional energy on it?
That's what I'm worried about the most.
No, he just wants to. It's another talking point to hate on Japanese cards for Josh.
Sure. Is this a no swearing channel? I need to.
No, you can swear all you like.
Oh, okay.
I'm too small.
Go back to these marshmallows, bro.
Yeah.
We're like 2 hours in at this point anyway, so it's not like anyone's. No, but I worry about that because even though I hear you, it's not all going to come down, and we'll see it coming down, and when it does, it'll be very apparent, and it's just demand and all this shit about Japanese being better quality and people seeing it and blah blah blah. Yeah, I get that, but it makes me lose sleep at night for some reason. I don't know why. All my friends deal with it.
I definitely think that there are aspects of Japanese products that are interesting to watch. Like the newest, was it Dendenge or whatever her name is, that card, right? But I think that's like everyone's, they're manipulating the market, blah, blah. No, I think that's just stores wanted to list it high so they didn't list it too low. You can always lower the price, but if you sell it too low, you can't raise the price, right? So like, I don't think that was like I
sell too low. Go to my eBay. I sell very low.
Yeah, I don't think that was like a market manipulation per se. I think that they probably, a lot of stores felt really dumb after Scarlet Violet set 1, and that with the pink-haired chick that they sold that too cheap, and then saw what it went for and was like, "Wow, that."
Her name is Miriam. All right.
Yeah, Miriam. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, in my brain, I was gonna say Miranda, and I was like, I know that's not right, so I'm definitely not saying that. Like, I'll just
you can just call her mommy. Mommy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But I think the thing that's like really being slept on with Japanese product right now is that accessibility is at an all-time high in terms of like barrier of entry to getting it.
Yeah.
Most people now have figured out how to use places like Bai or Zen Market or Tenso or any of these places, which means more people are bringing it over to then sell it into the market to even those people that don't understand it, which is now starting to create a much larger ecosystem of people that are interested in these things because they're accessible. Even if they're not the ones directly accessing them, now it feels obtainable, right? You didn't want to have to used to go and jump through 8 different hoops and find that one eBay seller that was in the US if you're like terrified of buying internationally, and then they're gonna have it priced for 6 times the cost, which didn't make it feel good. So since some of those margins are closing, it's also like bringing people's interest in, right? Like, I'll pay 20% more and get it directly from a US seller and feel good about it. Or if you're in the Europe and get it right from a Europe seller, and then you feel better about it because you're not paying that much of a premium. You're essentially paying them a convenience cost for you not having to do it, which is going to create a lot more interest in something. And so as that market grows and develops, yes, some of those margins will shrink, but you're also going to have a lot more demand for it. And so I part of that's going to lead to rising box costs, and it's going to lead to even more rising box costs if Pokemon doesn't adjust the amount they're printing to compensate for that additional demand. If they're still continuing to print for the old, Japan demand plus, 20% additional international, and now that has compounded exponentially, what's going to happen when you don't have enough product? Like the simple supply and demand, price goes up. Like it really is that simple.
It doesn't hurt that it releases a month earlier in Japan too, so everyone in the world gets it a month earlier and eats it all up.
Yeah, everyone wants to experience the new thing as it's happening, know. So
that doesn't hurt either, probably, for the demand for Japanese.
So I guess the real question is, what are you worried about? Because we're not worried about Japanese, I don't think. So what are you worried about, Josh? Like, I don't get it.
I just told you that's what I was worried about. It's your turn to say what you're worried about. The question wasn't
got you.
You're worried about Japanese. It's what are you worried about in the hobby?
What am I worried about? I'm worried about that the stuff I actually think is rare, will actually go up crazy, and then I won't be able to afford it. But I don't think I
What stuff is
know
that?
or can predict. Um,
You don't have to say specific cards, but generally, what do you mean? Like, what type of stuff do you consider?
Somewhere retro is having a brain aneurysm with the Spicy Boy motto. He wants to remind you, I'm sure. Spicy Boy motto: don't share the plays, don't leak the beat, don't.
Nah, dude,
Now, but anyways,
you're
what's the
good.
thing that you're worried about?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so like for example, right? Like what's a card that's really hard to find minty? Okay, so like this is not something I'm actively getting, but it's just a good example. The 15th anniversary Pikachu, the one where he's doing the little power up, the silver one. Like that. Okay, that shit is out of control expensive, Squeaks. Like I wish I could have got it.
Boxes were out of control expensive back when they came out. Like those
Yeah.
were hard to
Right.
get.
Okay, so then I'm like, you know, what other stuff like that, or like the Poncho Pikachus that could just catch fire and be $2,500 and it's just out of here. And I'm not really worried about the junk. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about Gay Duck AR. Like, who cares? Like, that's gonna be around till infinity. Like, I'm more worried about the stuff I actually like. Like,
Why do you want the
not,
Poncho
you know,
Pikachu? What makes you say that's rare?
well, they're hard to find. Try to find one. Like they're legitimately hard.
They're not hard to find. They're just expensive. Literally, you can find one right now, like 10.
Yeah. So what you guys are discussing is like the idea of like rarity versus scarcity, right? So like there are things that are accessible but are still expensive because the demand just outweighs the supply, and then there are other things that are just generally extremely difficult to find, even if you have the
Exactly.
money. So
Correct.
I think what he's referring to is that there are things that they may be accessible, but there's so many people that want to access them that the price keeps rising anyways. And that's what he's worried about, is that it's going to be a runaway train away from him. So even if he can find them, he can't afford them. Does that seem accurate?
Or like there's cards that if I want to pick them up raw, Josh, I can find 3 a week. Right? So if I 10 that card, I'll just sell it because there's 3 more this week. Right? But then there's other cards. And, you know, like some of the stuff that Colson likes and stuff too, it's like, dude, it's legitimately, it might take you a year to find that 10. Right. So
if you want to, especially if you want to like grade it yourself and not be purchasing PSA 10 slabs, right? That's a
right. The idea is to grade it yourself. Yeah. I'm not really worried. I guess I used to worry that people might like, I guess, smarten up to how easy it is to find these cards, and they don't need to pay us the premiums for the slabs. But like, it's not happening, and I feel like the Pokemon hobby moves so fast, bro, that people don't even have time. People aren't putting more than 5 minutes thought a week, you know, on this type of shit. So
can I ask you a question? Is there any card in the hobby that you would care about if it wasn't possible to get a PSA 10? If it was literally, it couldn't be slab, or if it was slab, it was going to be like a 7 or something, just a card that you just legitimately just wanted, not just because of condition rarity or whatever. Do you think
I mean, honestly, I couldn't care less about the slab or none of that. I just think that's the game. That's the game, you know? Like, some of my favorite cards are cards that my homies gave me. Like funny stories or whatever. Like I couldn't care less about that. But and I've said this before, but I think like the slab makes it so that your card is more accessible. Like it doesn't separate you from the slab. It makes it so that you can handle your card and like be closer to your card, you know? So it's like I think I'm pro grading, I'm pro plastic protection, blah blah blah. Like I think it's all good. It's just whatever you like. I don't know. I don't know if I answered your question, but yeah, like I'm pro cards.
You said you're afraid of the cards that you wanted to buy going up too quickly, so you couldn't buy them. Basically.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, like there's stuff that I sold that I don't know if I'll get back. You know, and it's like well, but I mean, whatever. You gotta.
Why'd you sell it then? But I mean, and without saying that disrespectfully, I mean, if you need money, but
I needed the money, bro. I needed the money. Straight up.
Okay, fair enough.
The Japanese.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that then.
Like, no, you're good. I mean, we all need the money though, right? There's stuff you don't want to sell, I'm sure, that you had to, you know.
Well, like to a certain extent, like there are things that, I mean, yes and no, but I always reference this stupid thing, like that thing could sell, should sell, but won't sell. So I don't know. There's always things. I think there's certain like sentimental value. You know what I mean? And I was wondering if there is, because when you said things that you were worried about, you're quoting low populations, PSA 10s, like plus slabs. I was curious if there was like a card that was something that you just legitimately had some connection to, you wanted. It didn't matter. It just existing was enough of that card. Because like there are 2 cards that I'm currently hunting that I could go out and buy right now that I very much so probably could or would, but I haven't. And those are cards that don't need to be in slabs, but I'm waiting for them to come to me at a price and a place where I can kind of like pick them up, but I'm not seeking it out, you know what I mean? But it doesn't matter the condition of those 2 cards. Like and that's only 2 cards for me. But
I think you coming from the Magic side is a little different. Like I'm a super like diva, bro. Like I need a 10 that's well centered. That's a real 10. Like I'm a diva when it comes to that shit. Like what I like is expensive, and it's like that for everything. Like I go to the mall, I want the $200 jeans. I'm dusted. I don't know. It's what I like. It's always expensive.
Fair enough.
Like it's not that I like it. But listen, it's not that I like it because it's expensive. It's just like I'll pull up. I'll be like, damn, this is a fire leather jacket. You're like, yeah, it's 2,800. I'm like, of course it is. Like I like this shit. That's good. Like I like the low pop, hard to find stuff. I like the trophies. I like the expensive shit, folks. Like tap in. Like, you know, it is what it is. Like
it's your money. That's your choice, right?
Yeah.
Right. I was just trying to get
it's like
the crux of it, you know.
The crux is the opportunity cost, Josh. Like, you know, it's hard to justify.
The game, like, dude, there's very little in this hobby that's truly like once in a lifetime. And even if you're like, well, it'll outprice me, right? These things will grow to exponential. Like, if you compound your gains, it's actually the odds that these things inflate. Unless you're just not doing your business side appropriately, the odds that individual cards are going to outpace what your gains can compound, that you could just buy it later.
For sure, bro.
I think it's probably pretty rare, but I could be wrong.
I mean, dude, I agree. You're totally right. Like, I could not agree with you more. That's why came up with no PC 23.
Yeah, and I think we're all sort of in the same page. We all like to sell more than we probably collect. Actually, I can't say that for sure. I don't talk to you as much, Squeaks, but I don't know how much you're holding back there behind the scenes, but you do sell it.
He's packing orders. The man is packing orders right now.
Yeah, obviously you're a net seller.
I don't sell much, let me tell you.
No. Yeah.
Oh, I never sell nothing. He got 200 bubble mailers in front of him.
No, I mean, I have certain things, like everything has a price. There are things back there that like you would have to offer me above market, but if you did, I would sell them. Like to me, that it's a no-brainer because like I don't think there's like I'm not the PSA 10 has to be a PSA 10, WATA 10, CGC 10. Like I don't like that. To me, isn't the big thing. So like to me, it's just visual appeal. If I'm visually pleased by it, I've got a Pokemon puzzle challenge for the Game Boy Color back there. It's not sealed. Box has a crease on it, but it's on the back. It's a 7.5 complete box because I couldn't find a sealed one. But I look at it and I like the game and it makes me happy. And it's probably it probably wasn't even worth it to grade it, but I did it anyways. And like, I'm good with it. You know what I mean? So like, to me, all this stuff is replaceable, but I'm not going to sell it if it doesn't push me towards another life goal. Right. And I think that's where people get caught up on this stuff is they think, oh, I can't reobtain this thing. But they're not weighing it against what else in their life they're trying to obtain, right? I have like life goals I want to hit that to me, the idea of hitting those versus owning any of this stuff would heavily outrank. And I'll give you an example is my wife and I just moved this past year. And one of our goals was like to be able to buy like a pretty nice house, right? Owning any of this stuff behind me, I would have sold it in a heartbeat. Most of the stuff behind me, I didn't even own until we moved here. That like, I would have sold it in a heartbeat because why have nice stuff to put in a house that I don't own? Right? Like I would rather get the house first and then get
or rent or like be renting, you know, and you got you got like 15, 20K in collectibles and you don't own a house. It's kind of like backwards to me, you know, and I'm not throwing shade. It's very hard to own a house. I'm not,
because some people don't want to own a house, right? Like some people, the idea of owning a house and having to pay all the maintenance and do all that is like atrocious. Like there's like people that are very much like pro rent, which is like that's their choice. But for me, my goal was I want to own a house. I want to have X, Y, and Z features. You know, I want to have a certain kind of lifestyle. And that to me on my life goals list was just ranked higher than almost virtually anything I own, you know? And so, but now that I've obtained that, hey, let's put a few nice things in there, but they still all have a price. The store still owns all of them. It doesn't mean that I won't enjoy them while I have them. And if something goes, I'll just put something else in its place until I just run out of things to put in its place. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I'm not as much on the Ernie, but you know, in Ernie's defense, right, where he likes, you know, maybe nice clothes or the 10 graded card or whatever, you know, I like to eat out. I like out to eat. And I promise you, I burn more money on food than anyone in this call, to an embarrassing amount. And I'm like, to the point I'm like trying to work on it and like cut it down, right? But like we all have our things that we indulge in, you know? And I don't, so to me, it's kind of a to each your own, as long as it's not setting you back from those bigger milestones that you're trying
But
to
here, but let me just defend myself real quick, Sweets. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying I own those things that I like. I'm just saying, if I had to pick something to collect, I would prefer. You know what I mean? But I
I wasn't trying to peg you as like, yeah, he's doing this irresponsible.
Yeah, like I don't own shit, bro. I have like,
what you're saying.
yeah, but also like just to Josh's point, it is a money thing, dude. It is a money thing, right? Because if I had, you know, 100,000 liquid or whatever, I probably wouldn't need to sell $1,000 card for any reason, right? And I could just kind of sit on it and chill, right?
Maybe.
So
it all depends, right? Like,
no money, no
could your
problem.
business use that additional money to scale in a different direction? Could you, you know, like again, there's always going to be variables to this at play, right? There are going to be times where you can justify it, and there's going to be other times where you can't, right? I have a lot of expansion plans for 23 and part of 24 that like I'm looking at doing. Last year, after kind of got the house, kind of locked everything in, a lot of this stuff was easy to justify. Now I'm looking at it. I've got a near complete Naruto booster box set in the bottom of that cabinet and all nice acrylic cases that I don't look at any day because they're not even on display because the display case is full. And now I've got all these other expansion things I want to do. And it's like, well, that really doesn't make that much sense to have that much money just sitting in that case under there. You know what I mean? And so like now I'm getting like, after one of my tasks on my list is like, get those on the market, right? Because it just doesn't make sense anymore. And I got to enjoy them for a while. I had them for a while, had that good time. And then I'm going to,
and you need to redo your kitchen or your floor or whatever. I know how it is, bro.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is like, you know, the putting yourself in the position where you don't have to sell it is always the key. But it still doesn't mean that sometimes it still is the right time to sell, even if you have a lot of money, you know, like it just makes sense to.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. Make certain priorities.
But you can agree even more so if that money can double or triple your business. Like, dude, like you should not have a $5,000 business and 10K in collectibles. Like that's backwards. Like,
yeah.
Or whatever. I don't mean to judge or whatever, but you know what I mean? Like,
no. Well, and, you know, everyone it's to each their own. But I do think that, like, so I've got a buddy. You guys probably know him. Waylord TCG goes by Jackson. He's pops in people's lives. Yeah, this dude, like, we all sit and talk finance every day. And low key, he is the smartest financial person in the hobby. Like, he is because he understands real world finance, like, big time. So when I have like a real world finance question, I ask him. And like, we've talked before about things like the idea that people don't appropriately weigh out how much of this stuff they have in collectibles. And we always believe all this stuff's extremely liquid. And, you know, I've just lived through periods where a lot of this stuff wasn't. Oh, bye, Ernie. Where this stuff wasn't extremely liquid. Right. And so I don't like seeing myself that zoomed in. We got to get Ernie back. What is going on?
Come back.
Yeah. But, you know, I don't want to like be all doom and gloomer or whatever, but I just think that sometimes it's really easy to justify carrying a ton of your net worth in cards or collectibles or whatever, because you tell yourself you're running a business. And what you don't realize is your own personal finances are like your own personal business as well. And you're running that extremely thin, like dangerously thin. That's dangerously thin. That's what people don't equate. Is that like paying your bills and making sure like that's the same as having personal overhead. That's the same, you know, and so I, you know, and I'm someone that like I've been guilty of that. When I started the business, I had very little to my name. I didn't have a ton going for me. It was hey, if this fails, I lost some time. I set myself back probably a couple years in my life, but like if it hits, I changed my whole life. So there was like a risk reward thing, right? But like now I want to shift that the other way, right? I want to start making my personal life business, my bills, my mortgage, my all that more secure and bring down some of the net worth on the business side, because it doesn't make sense to like risking one of these versus the other doesn't make a lot of sense, in my opinion, right? And so I think that a lot of times people in the hobby, and like that's why Dan is such a great voice to have in the hobby, because like everyone always, you know, memes on him, traditional investments, 401ks, Roth IRA, blah, blah. But like what he is doing is securing this so that even if this goes under, he's
it could just be play. It could be play. Yeah. No, I hear you, bro. For sure.
So.
It's one of those things that you don't see enough in the hobby, and that even though Dan's spouting it all the time, I would venture to say that not a lot of it is listened to, unfortunately, but it's definitely good as a force to be there. I agree.
Well, because it's not as fun, right? People don't do it because it's not as fun. It's not as fun to put your money in an account and then be like, well, there should be more money there in 30 years, 35 years when I like hit retirement age. That's not as fun. It's like, I'm buying shit now and I'm selling shit now and I'm making money. Like, that's not as fun, right? And so like people don't do it. But then they end up being 55 years old. Now they've got 10 years till retirement. And they're like, damn, why didn't I do that?
Yep. And they've just flipped their boxes every time, and they have one box of battle styles in their closet that they couldn't sell until they finally dug it out.
Like the reality is most like, and I know that there's certain people that are going to lose their mind. I say this. There are people in this hobby that if they grinded and they churned their inventory and they did everything, they could probably outpace most of their investment retirement accounts. But the issue is, that takes an extreme amount of discipline, takes a large amount of risk. It takes a good amount of capital to do it in the first place. And most people just don't have that. Like I don't. So like I'm not like setting myself apart. Most people don't have that. So just doing the slow and steady wins the race, the safer option, the thing that you know is going to be there and compound and be there when you're ready to retire, versus trying to convince yourself that you're going to do this other thing. Like, yeah. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with it, but
this is the type of stream we were hoping to have, just a random chit chat, talking Pokemon and stuff. So it's good to go there. You still haven't told us what you were afraid of, though, in the hobby, Colson. I want to know what the boogeyman has got cooking for you, buddy. Like, what wakes you up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night? You're in your race car bed, and you wake up.
Race car bed, wow.
Nuggies on, and you wake up in a cold sweat, like with tears running down your face, like, oh, my black and white full art hollows. They're all too expensive for me to buy raw. I'm gonna have to pay graded prices for them now. But what is it? Is that it? Did I get you?
Okay, so they say that your dreams are kind of like how you really feel, right? Or certain emotions or whatever. Blah blah blah. It was like a week ago or something. I woke up from this terrible dream, and that terrible dream was that I got the upcharge email from PSA where
you're gonna make more money.
So no, so they send you the upcharge email, and that's when you get all the grades, right? Where you can look through that document. I looked through that document, and it was all 8s and 9s.
Oh, bro! Mine was a dream. I was just awake.
and
so this was a dream.
Oh, okay, fair.
That's the point.
Okay,
that's my.
Can't happen. That's not a realistic dream.
My big.
Okay, let me ask you this, Colson. No, Colson, this is good. So you had this dream. You get all 8s and 9s. You wake up. You're in a cold sweat. You're like, God bless that one. But here's the reality. That could happen.
Oh yeah,
even if your cards are 10 worthy, right? That could happen.
I know it's going to happen.
It's the upcharge though, because PSA 8s are worth literally garbage.
It's more so the boogie. Well,
no. But I'm saying we've seen people before that have taken subs where they just got mass 9s, recracked them, and then got 10s back because the grader they got was just overly harsh or whatever. Yeah. So what I would ask you is, knowing that there is a % chance that happens, and yet you're having like some subconscious fear of this thing, do you think that maybe the things you're grading are falling under that level that's like too much of a gamble? Or that are you
talking to me or Colton? Too much of your fall under that.
Or like too much of your net worth that you're doing it with. So like maybe it's I can do it with some of these things, but now I'm doing it with 60% of the money that I have. And so then if it fails, whereas if I would have only done it with 10%, then it's like, well, I missed, you know? Like, do you think that that's part of it? Or do you think it's just like, I just had a bad dream kind of thing?
I think it's a little bit of both. I don't think it's nearly as severe as the prior, but I think it was just a bad dream one. But I think I mean I think there's like I've cracked a lot of slabs that I thought were undergraded, sent them back, they'll get a higher grade, whatever. Like it just happens, that's a normal thing that I think people should definitely do if they feel confident in their card. For me, I guess it, yeah, but I know it's not like one submission is gonna ruin my business or absolutely tank my net worth or what, So I don't really run my business that way.
Good. You shouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd hope I didn't run my business that way. So I think it's more so the fact that it hasn't happened to me yet. Like I probably have an average of like 70 to 80% 10 rate grading Japanese stuff. So it's like how I said, it's like the boogeyman, where since it hasn't happened, it's always a lingering fear, even though I know when it does happen, it won't actually be as bad as I chalk it up to. Right.
Well, the part where you get upcharged, that's the part that I feel is that
you get upcharged and you get 8s and 9s.
That's what I mean. That really is a nightmare. But that'll never happen. You can sleep soundly, sir. You are safe. That won't happen. But if you do get the upcharge,
but
I
think that
ends and you're making money. So
I think there's also something to be said about what Squeaks was saying, where maybe I am playing the gamble game too much to where my business only really works in a lot of cases if I am hitting 10s at a high rate. Right.
Well, in the beginning, that I was joking when he said that because I thought it applied a lot to English grading of like raw $1, $2 promos that literally if you get a 9, you're fucking wrecked. But if you get making $10,
if I could
$15,
if I could chime in real quick, I don't think it leaves your house if it's not a 10 though. Like sometimes I think about that, right? I'm like, well, yeah, like I got mostly 10s my last submission, but out of how many cards that I bought? Because if you buy 1,000 cards and you grade 50, like you're not good. You're not good.
What's it like
you just
only
have a lot
on easy mode, Ernie? What's it like only playing easy mode and grading Japanese cards? It must be nice.
You can have Japanese that don't hit 10s too, though. Like that, I think that's like very like if you're that good at pre-grading, that's dope and congratulations. But I've definitely had cards before that I've sat, looked them over, thought they were a 10 for sure, and they just come back a 9. Everyone else looks at it, that's a 10 for sure, comes back a 9.
That's my life. It happens all the time.
That kind of stuff can happen even if you don't like I'll give you an example. I had 43 modern English cards in a PSA sub. One of them I knew for sure was not going to get a 10. 41 of the others got 10s, just like I anticipated. But one didn't, right? That one. What did I miss on that card, right? Luckily, I was relatively spot on that day. That's about a 2% miss rate. Not terrible. But like, what if I would have missed 4? Now those 4 could be done. Now, luckily, when I was grading, like 9s were probably still fine. But my point is that like, it's risk assessed, right? When you're sending these cards off, you're assessing the risk and like the percentage chances of like how many of these. And over time, more submissions, you can calculate what percent your own personal 10 rate is and how accurate you are and factor that in. I don't think probably a lot of people get that into the weeds with it, but you could do that, right? And say, what is my profit margin if all these hit 10s, multiply it by, I have a 65% 10 rate, and then how much I lose on 9s and 35% 9 or lower rate, etc. And you could actually just risk assess your whole thing. And then ebb and flow. I think to me, the bigger issue is because like you're calculating risk. I think that's fine. I think it's where people get themselves into trouble is their whole business model. The only things they do mostly are graded cards and then selling off the junk raws that they didn't feel were worth grading. Graded cards and selling them are lumpy sales just by definition of what they are. Now, just because maybe you get some back and they sell really fast, right? That's great. They sold really, really fast. That still does not make them a smooth, consistent seller because you can't restock that inventory consistently, right? A smooth sale is like back in the day, booster boxes when you could just call your distributor and order more and you'd sell some in X amount a week and you could average out how many a week you'd sell. Those are your smooth sales, the things that you can consistently count on week to week to week. if your sales, you know, daily, weekly, monthly, and obviously based on the size of your business, you'd have to use different parameters. But like for me, I generally want my daily sales to be like within a like X percentage range, consistent. And some days it's going to be lower. Some days it'll be a lot higher because you're lumpy sales. But generally, your consistent sales, your smooth sales is what they're called, should always have you within that range. And if they're starting not, it means you're either running out of inventory, or if they're starting to go up, it means you've grown in inventory or grown your smooth sales. And like that's what then kind of alleviates some of your risk, because then you're creating consistent cash flow to where then if you have one of those bad submissions that comes in, it's not breaking that consistent cash flow. All it did was break your bonuses, your lumpy sales. And I think that I think people understand this on like a baseline level of like what it is and the necessity for it, but they're not really understanding like how to integrate it into what they're doing. And that's where people then start to run into danger is well, I don't have any money to buy anything, but I also don't have anything to sell yet because I'm waiting on my submission to come back. And it's like, well, then you clearly have not built out the structure to have a consistent revenue coming in. So you've only built your business on lumpy sales. And that's a really, really dangerous thing to do, in my opinion, at least. So
that I agree, but also I wanted to go back to what you said, Ernie, and sort of disagree with what Ernie said about only sending 10s, because like even if you're sending Japanese, sorry Ernie, but I think that if you're only sending cards you're pre-grading that you think are absolute slam dunk 10s in, you're missing out on all those 9s that get graded on 10s that you're like, well, shit, I would have just sold that raw and you like, because PSA is incredibly inconsistent. Because for every one of those, you know, subs, you get all 8s that you thought were 10s. You're gonna send a bunch in that were, oh wow, that would have been a 9 on a worse day. It's a 10, and you're gonna get rewarded for some of that. So like, I think you can get in the weeds overthinking by pre-grading too much too, you know? So I don't want to disagree with you, Ernie, on everything. I just disagree with like,
no, I'm all good, bro. You're my boy, so I don't care.
You know, actually though, I disagree with you, Old Card Shop. And the reason being, I think to an extent, I think there's a subset of card where that makes sense, right? If it's generally a hard to replicate thing. But like a modern card where there are just infinite copies out there that you can go grab, grading that 9 that you're like on the fence about 50-50 split. Could this card get a 10? Right?
These are 9.
You are significantly better off not investing that dollar amount, that month and a half, 2 month time window, and just re-injecting that card into the market, going and buying another copy and putting that one in a submission where you're sure it's going to be a 10 and moving on and churning that, right? Because now you're gambling. You're gambling a 50% chance, tying up that overhead and that time that you could have invested far less time in one additional step of a sale to resell your card into the market at near mint prices, which is probably around what you paid for it. Go grab another copy, have that percentage be significantly higher and increase your overall ROI by time. And like, so I think it really depends on what the card is. But for modern specifically, I will not send a card if I don't think it's a 10.
So
unless it's such a high dollar amount that I know that even 9s I'll make a premium on. Like there's a few cards out there right now. Lily Full Art from Ultra Prism, Lugia from Silver Tempest, although that one may have closed. Gengar VMAX from Fusion Strike in a 9 still outpaces raw rate. But like those are few and far between in modern, right? So any other, if it's not a 10, I'm not sending it.
Or I agree with the modern, but I was more just in general, like there's
sure. But I think that's like a really important thing to specify, right? Because you don't want the modern person out there to hear what you just said and think, oh yeah, I should just be sending all these if it's like a 50-50.
And that's why I want to
that actually is inaccurate.
These are all 9s that aren't getting sent now because I've went back and because like exactly what you said, I agree with that aspect. Like if it's a modern card, if it's not a 10, it's 1 or a 10, baby. And if it's not a 10, it's probably not even a 1 because it's got to be a real special modern card to be a 1. So, you know, 9s, nobody wants a 9. And gosh, I just did a bunch of auctions on my eBay for 8s that I had from like literal failed grading because it does happen. Like I think I'm a great pre-grader and I do plenty of 8s. I get 8s. I don't want to say all the time because it doesn't happen as often. I won't say it happens that often, but it does happen. And I just ran some auctions and they don't sell well. I would have done better cracking them out and then selling them raw most likely, but that's a pain in the butt to do too. So, you know, it is what it is.
I mean, everybody has their strategy, right? Everybody has their own kind of like business strategy. And so
Sure.
I know what works for me. Like I really like liquidity. So for me, like if I make $5 on a slab squeaks, but it's out the door tomorrow, like I love that. Like I
Yeah.
don't, but like somebody like Colson, who's like way, I guess, more of an expert on so many different cards. Like for him, it's kind of like he's wasting EV looking for those cards because he could be getting like big grails that he could make $400, $500, $1,000 on. So I couldn't do what he does, So it's like I respect it, but he doesn't like to do what I do. So it's like it's all good. There's a lot of ways to get there. But I do like what you said about like having that consistent kind of like backbone to your business, and then just kind of like working off of that, rather than, okay, I'm trying to hit a home run every time, and if not, bro, pray for me. Like it's on credit, and like no, dude, like so I hear you, man. I do think, Josh, that it's like what Squeaks is saying. It's like, dude, especially modern, like of a certain language, it not that hard to turn. It's not that hard to turn, dude. It's really not. And it more comes down to like what you're buying, because there's stuff that just sits. Like I graded Palmot or whatever the fuck it's called, and the shit is not selling. Or Drapion V. I'm like, dude, it's Yukamori Drapion V. This shit is a super bag, and it's just more about knowing, okay, like this is a legendary, it's a secret rare, like this is gonna work. Or like, oh, this is a waifu, whatever, playable, this is gonna work. Or it's not. I don't want to say it's not that hard because I don't want to minimize it, but it's not that hard to get
not even a
tens.
bag, right? It's just the amount of people that want it this big and the amount of people that have it's this big. So you just got to be willing to wait, right? And so if you don't set yourself up in a position financially where you can put that card up, leave it on buy it now, and let it sit, like I literally have some cards listed that like have sat there for 6 months. And like some people, to them, it's like, we got to get that to auction and get it out the door. For me, it was like I graded that knowing that card may sit there for 6 months. But I have also built my business to be able to just like wait, right? Like I can just leave a card up. I'm sure I've got cards even older than that. They're like, I'll just wait. I'll wait for the right person to come along. And then every once in a while, you'll have that sale where like you look at the order and you see it tick through and you're like, wow, I forgot I even had that thing in there. But like, hey, it finally sold. Great. Like you got it out the door, But like, again, lumpy sale, not a smooth sale. And
niche, so like, very niche as well. That's what that sounds like a top sale or an other TCG, an alternative TCG, like
well, and you want to have some of that stuff. You want to have some things that are rather niche that are like more targeted, but like, you know what? I bet that there's far less people grading that Drapion than what there are grading, tons of other cards from that set, right? And yeah. So like you can, eventually there will be that right person that comes along as long as you're priced reasonably, right? For the most part. And you can't always auction it. I'm not a big fan of auctions. I'm not
a fan, no.
I hate them.
I think there are certain things I think have merit to auction.
Right. Really liquid or really rare with good promotion.
Or really popular.
Sure. Or the timing's just right. You have one of the first perfect or black labels to market. It makes sense to do it, kind of thing.
Aside like, from that, though, I'm with you on the auctions, though, for sure. I only do the ones that I have to. That I'm like, I would feel bad about giving this out in a mystery pack, so I'm going to auction it. Because contrary to popular belief, there's a certain level of acceptable mystery pack prizes, I would say, and there are certain things you just can't give to someone.
Yeah, I'm just not a mystery pack guy. I've had ideas of like how I could do them. I think like to me, it's tough because like mystery packs, they either go like one of two ways. You're either like gambling on like hitting something big, knowing that everything else in there is garbage, which is
I don't like that very much.
Yeah, purely a lottery ticket, or it's that everything is kind of going to be around an X price point, but the issue with that is for the person to make any money,
it has to be a lower price point.
They inherently have to have the expected value be lower, so you're just losing automatically by buying it, which is why I'm not a huge fan of either of those. So to me, the only way you can really like I've ever thought of like really being able to do it is where you're putting products in them where you are still coming ahead and you are still putting it in an expected value range, but are generally not products people would see every day. So they still feel excited about it, or where there is like a barrier of entry. So like, for example, oh, okay, I take a slab and maybe it's a decent grade and maybe that slab was priced into the box exactly what it's worth. But then I also have in there like a Japanese deck box and some Japanese sleeves. And maybe they're things that were 2 years old. So they've already rotated out, but I had a nice supply of them. So now somebody's getting sleeves that like for them to access them would probably be pretty difficult. Or maybe, you know, but it's like a neat thing to have. So you're still within like a range, but it's also like they don't feel like they've been duped, you know?
Yeah,
and I think the biggest thing for me is like mystery packs and stuff. There's not enough variety in them. Most people are just like putting a slab in them or putting a slab in a card with it or something like that, to where you do just feel like you lost essentially. At least like, and this kind of goes back to like that whole like subscription box model that people do. A lot of times people feel like they won because they got a nice variety of things, which essentially does make it harder to assess the value of what you actually got, which is like why your customer generally feels more happy. People in the hobby just really don't seem to do those that often, I don't think. But I also think
that
that's
I
where you
plan
can
to
like,
do as well. Both of those are things that I plan to work into my business.
sure, yeah, and like, but that's also then where you can like move dead stock and stuff and still make the value of the box worth it for the customer, but also worth it for you because you're moving inventory that hasn't sold, right? Which then makes you have a little less risk if you go out and be like, well, you know what, I'm just going to buy 8 arts of every sleeve and whatever, and the ones that sold really well, great, you made some money, and the ones that didn't, congrats, they'll end up in a mystery box and somebody will still enjoy them because I can price them at just like whatever market value is, but I'm still getting to move my inventory.
Yeah, and the thing about mystery bags that I always try to take myself away from is like, I'm not a buyer of mystery bags. So I am a seller of mystery bags, but I'm not a buyer of them. And I never would be a buyer of them because of exactly what you said. I know what goes into a mystery bag. In order to make it worth it, it has to be a little bit less value than what the packaging is. If it has any sort of fancy packaging at all, if it has one of those boxes with like the slab is standing and the light on it, and it like has the strip on it, the seal where it has the void strip, that's all money that's not going into your prize, basically, because it's being spent on packaging. So like, I've never been a buyer of them, but the thing that I've understood as a seller is that there's a huge subset of the market that just absolutely adores them and loves them, and they're going to buy them wherever.
Yeah, because people want to gamble.
Yeah,
right? Like,
or they just want to get something. They don't care what they get. They want to open something in a shiny package and have some sort of a rush, right? Just like opening a booster pack.
Well,
So
and that's why I actually, the
buy
ones that they do like the shiny light in the nice box presentation,
It's
I actually like
fun.
those better because at least you're losing, but at least it's like giftable. It like feels like a
Seems
premium
better, but
product
it's
where
still-
somebody
it's a lot
feels like
worse.
they're like experiencing something.
Right.
Whereas, all right, this is my mystery pack. I'm gonna put my slab in it. It's
So
gonna be
that's the thing about
$5
mystery
less
bags,
than
though.
whatever
That's what
you
I'm trying to
pay.
say.
Like, right?
Is
Like,
you
there's
have
no
to
effort.
understand your customer. That's the most important thing about mystery bags, is you must understand your customer. And I only say this as someone who sort of sells them, and you can't ever understand your customer from a mystery bag, because as a, you know, an online store, or even a store of someone walking up to you at a convention, first time they've ever seen you, they really don't have any reason to, like, you know, go to you. It's their first time there. So it's hard to assess your customer when they've never seen you before. It's their first time walking up. So like, how do you assess it? You just have to provide basically a good mystery bag. So, and what that means is going to be different. And it's just hard to say. Like like I said, am going to offer subscription boxes eventually in the form of like a monthly or whatever it is. Every set release, there's a certain bundle of things you get guaranteed at a certain price. And like you said, it's a way for you to guarantee certain price points to customers with guaranteeing allocation and you know, it's that sort of an idea of moving product, but there's a way to do it so it doesn't have to feel bad for the customer in both ways.
There's actually an even better way to do it. And I'm going to play off what you guys were talking about before Colson and I came on. You guys were talking about buying out a booth, right? Somebody coming up, buying out your booth, 70%, whatever percent, right? Mm-hmm. If you're willing to sell a large chunk of your inventory at 70 or 80%, why not just take that same inventory, put it in mystery packs for the same dollar amount? You would have sold it right there. And now somebody's actually gaining 20% above. Yeah. But you sold it for exactly what you were content with selling it. Your customer has now won and feels like they have won, and you won.
That's a good mystery pack. That's what it should feel like. It should feel like you're walking away with at least a little bit of value.
Because most mystery packs that are sold today are intentionally designed to fleece their customers and prey on their gambling tendencies. Like, if we are just being honest, that like 99% of people selling mystery packs, and like if they feel like I'm taking a shot at them and they're providing good value, like if you feel like you're providing good value and you also feel like what I just said is a shot at you, are you really providing that good value? Right? That's what I would ask. And like, if you are providing that good of value, then you probably don't feel like what I just said applies to you and that you're the 1%. Because the reality is most people that are opening these things are losing all the time, unless they're the ones that are designed to gamble, at which point X percentage are losing and X percentage are winning.
Or they're the ones that got sent to the YouTuber to be opened on their channel so then they could pump their mystery bags that are all garbage. You know what I mean?
I don't know anything about that. Like, I have no idea who you're referencing. I assume that was a shot at somebody, but
no, not any in particular. It's a shot at all YouTubers who open mystery bags on their channel and then like pump where they got it from, or like it's not.
Oh, well, there's a really easy way to resolve that, which is to like, if you're a YouTuber, okay, well, if they're getting paid to do it, they should probably disclose that, right? That is like legally you're required to disclose it. So if they're not, they're just already being disingenuous to their fan base. So like, they just suck for that, right? But if they're not, and they're just actually like, hey, we were sent this thing, go buy another one under a different name and open them together and see the disparity. And if there wasn't, great. That sounds like probably a pretty genuine company. If they weren't, and there was a big disparity,
that defeats the purpose, though. Like when a company is sending something and it's a loaded box or something. I don't think that's happening.
Defeats the purpose of what?
Essentially of buying a box. It's like of the YouTuber buying a box, because like the YouTuber didn't buy the box because it was good value. They were just sent the box and they were given.
Correct. But what I'm saying is, if you are a YouTuber and you want to do right by your community, you do what I just said. If you're just in it for the bag, right? But the whole purpose of this was to not be the scummy YouTuber in it for the bag, right? Like if you just want to be the scummy YouTuber for the bag, you're not doing any of your ad disclosures. You don't care about the FTC. You're just out there hawking whatever off to every. You're probably already pumping crypto. You've got.
Yeah, I was taking a shot at the already shitty ones, exactly. So it's not. They're not. Yeah. Not any in particular either. No, so that wasn't in particular. I don't think, unless someone just recently did something scummy with mystery bags, but I haven't heard about any of that.
But I do believe that there are healthy ways to do them in the hobby. I think it takes a lot more effort to do them in a healthy way, and so most people just choose the easy money, right?
Oh, for sure. And I mean, there's a reason why it's prevalent on certain streaming platforms and why there's no regulation, and there's literally like it's getting worse and worse every day. And it's
I could have no idea who you're talking about with the context clues that you've given in the last like month. I have no idea what you're referring to.
Yeah. No,
you gotta be careful with that, man. You take enough shots at a big place, and they'll eventually shoot back.
I mean, they can't shoot much back. I'm not on their platform anymore, and it's not because they like took.
Oh, bro, believe me, attorneys don't need you to be on their platform.
I haven't said literally anything besides what's actually happening. So it's like, So
to me, what do you have to gain, right? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I guess to me, it's virtue signaling more than anything, because I have nothing to gain besides that. It's not going to gain me any potential followers or anything, and I don't get anything from I didn't lose anything. It's honestly worse for me not to be on Whatnot, because I could be continuing to take advantage. I could be like taking advantage of that lack of regulation if I really wanted to be, and using it to my advantage, knowing that they really don't care about the gambling that's prevalent on the platform that's unregulated.
See, right there, that comment that you just said absolutely could land you in hot water.
That there's gambling on the platform.
No, you stated that they do not care about their.
They have shown time and time again that
you don't know what they're trying to implement behind the scenes. You don't know who they talk. That's what I'm saying is like those kind of statements and absolutes. Those are what can really get you.
Lock them up. Lock him up. Lock his ass up.
Yeah, jail, FBI. Get it? No, but my point is that, like, I get what you're frustrated about the experience that you had somewhere. What I'm saying to be careful with is that, like, what you're presenting, like, present your experience only, not all these other things that you believe are not occurring and things like that. Present what you experienced, but at the same time, it's like, and this is not financial or legal advice. Go talk to a professional. I'm not going down with anyone's ship. That's what I'm saying. Right. But like, if you don't have anything to gain of it, let bygones be bygones, dude. Right? You've left the place. Let it be. Move on with your life. Like you're too much emotional energy going into it. That's what.
At this point, it's the offhanded comments that'll probably just continue. But yeah, that'll eventually fade away too. As we
all right, boys. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me, man. This was awesome. I do got to tap out because I'm like super dusted. But great talk. I appreciate your time, everyone, and yeah, I'll let you guys go and enjoy.
See you, dude.
Bye, Nasty.
Yeah, and I agree. I've tried to just basically make my piece on YouTube, and I said what I wanted to say and move on from it, and that's sort of where I'm at. Like I said, it'd just be offhanded comments if anything. But I do think it's important to highlight out problems like that in the hobby that are not being essentially brought to a head, because if people feel like it's like all fun and games and it's okay for these like spin wheels, duck races, like extra, bounties, just all these layers.
I think that there's like a healthy way to address that, right? That like, hey, these things are happening. Here you can see XY that they're happening. This is why I feel that like these things could potentially be dangerous or whatever. But like saying that X, Y, and Z doesn't care, that they haven't done anything to address it or whatever is like, that's like a really dangerous line to walk, because now you're starting to walk the line of like implying something, right? That like, by lack of action, they're almost like advocating for it. And like, I know that maybe that's not what you were going for, but like, that's how it can come off, right? And that's like generally where people do and then end up with themselves like in trouble or whatever. Whoa.
Sorry, my alarm's going off.
No, you're good. I was like, damn, all right, yeah.
No, yeah, I have my dog.
Also, I think Retro had asked for a link earlier, but maybe not. But
he did, but then he chickened out.
Question.
Oh.
He chickened out after I gave him the link. Yeah.
Really? Well, he asked Squeaks a question a while ago.
That was after he chickened out.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't have the questions up.
Let's see.
So I don't have the chat up because I have my screen half and half, and I have you guys up in real time, and I have the orders on the other half.
Okay.
So
See, I'm lucky enough. I'm in the actual stream lab, so I get to see the questions.
I guess I could just put it up on my other monitor, but I don't know.
And if I was a better host, I'd be putting up all the questions on stream, but I'm only like putting up some of the ones that I see. So just so you know, chat, I've seen some of the questions. I missed others. I apologize if I missed yours.
Retro,
But
I just saw that you said you'd never invite me to play Foursquare ever again. I'll have you know that actually there was a group of us when we used to play Pokemon competitively. The night before tournament, we would all stay with each other just so we could play a Foursquare league, and we would do it. We did it for like almost a year and a half. Like we would go out and draw lines.
Why did I think you were gonna say
we were die hard? It was fun, dude. Like
I thought you were gonna reply saying you were a tetherball kid, not a Foursquare.
No,
actually,
yeah, we were die hard Foursquare. Like we would play till like 2 in the morning or something, and then get up at like 6 a.m. to drive to the tournament and go play. Like
no wall ball, man.
So
it's
cool.
all about wall ball, bro. No skids, no Dunkaroos. Go
about tag.
Oh, I loved tag like in the gym with the lines where you have to stay on the lines, like line tag. That was peak.
I love.
Yeah, I don't know what kids do in PE anymore, if they even have PE. Do kids even go to school after COVID? Is that like, did school just get abolished? For all I know, there could be no more school. Yeah, because as far Colson, what's going on with the kids these days? You're the closest thing I have to a connection to the youth,
Oh my!
You're like 20, like
it's
so.
Dark. It's dark for the kids,
Bro, are
man.
You flexing? Is that what you're trying to do right now?
No, I'm literally stretching, bro. Chill.
Just look up. You're bulking.
Yeah, so we're 3 hours into the stream. You're wearing a one piece.
Who's a kid, pussy?
And last night I came about 5 minutes away from starting One Piece as an anime because we're out of like I just finished Jujutsu Kaisen and
bro, you said that like it's like a chore.
Dude, I'm at the point where it feels like it is a chore. How many episodes behind am I?
When you start though, the beginning of One Piece is a chore for sure.
Is it as good or better than Shippuden? Is it better than Naruto? Like as a series, like would you say One Piece is better than Naruto?
Yeah, and I'm a huge Naruto fan.
I love Naruto. I just watched it the last couple of years.
One Piece is better written.
Really?
Yeah, I think it has. I think it's way
so childish, man. Just not from knowing nothing about it. Like
no.
More childish. One Piece hits more real life, like hard to talk about themes than anything I've ever watched.
Maybe it's just the main character feels like the cartoonish.
But doesn't Naruto feel like?
Yeah,
that?
Naruto literally starts out being like, yeah, and then he's like painting shit on the wall. And like, yeah, dude, no shot, Bucko.
Naruto gets dark, bro.
No way.
No, well, okay, that's what I wanted to say. Like One Piece is different because One Piece, it's kind of what Squeak said, it's better written. So for the majority of the show and for actual dialogue and just character interaction and just like kind of normal story stuff, it's a lot more like cohesive, and I think it's a lot more of an enjoyable experience. Where Naruto gets me is like the lore and like the world building and like the history and how it all how all the tribes interact with each other and like the politics and each
like,
character's
One Piece has
backstory.
that. It's
It
just
does.
really spread out, and a
Yeah,
lot of it,
exactly.
the big part of the story that like is where all this is going to come together at the end is the history, right? So
Yeah.
if they just give you that at the start, whereas like
Exactly.
Naruto is the
It's like-
story is predicated on the fact that this history happened, and that's why
Yes.
everything moving forward will happen, right? Whereas One Piece is the same way, but the whole premise is that there is this chunk of history that nobody knows what happened because the government essentially erased the history, right? And so now it's like, what is that history and why did they erase it and why did all these things happen? And I don't want to give spoilers about this. Is told very early on, like, so like, but that's like the thing, right? Is like, so that's why Naruto, as you're on that journey, it's like you feel like the world building is better because you know about the world, whereas like One Piece, you're learning about the world as you go, so it feels very trickled in.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
once you get to the end, that's why everyone says it's so good when you get to the end, because once you get to the end and you know a lot of that stuff, then you're just like, holy cow, how did we get here? How was all of this planned from the start? How did all these things connect? And then you see things that happen in, you know, chapter 1000 and stuff that like there was foreshadowing back in like chapter 150. And it's just like, no freaking way.
So
You know, like,
how long is it going to take me to catch up? And am I in for an unwinnable journey? Like, is it going to be a situation where it's going to be years after, you know, I'm going to be still watching it a year or two after?
Are
and
you
it's all
only willing
done?
to watch it or only willing to read it? Like,
I'm only watching it. I'm not going to read it. I'm only going
episodes
to
do you
watch
watch
the
a day of
dub as
anime?
well. I'm sorry, what was that?
How many episodes do you watch a day of anime?
Probably a good 10 to 20 if I'm really watching it, because I watch it
Okay,
while
let's
I'm
say
like,
10. Let's say 10.
Yeah,
Okay.
I watch
That's
it while I'm
100 days.
shipping and doing everything, you know.
That's 100
Oh, okay,
days.
okay.
If you skip filler, which you should, you
Wait,
would be at
skip
about
filler?
Yeah, One Piece only has like 9% filler anyway, so I would definitely skip it.
Skip filler? I don't skip filler, bro. I watch it all. I watched all the Naruto filler. I
Okay.
watched it all.
Wow. Wow.
I watched the Naruto filler too.
You're
I'm
a
sorry
better
about
man
you.
than
If
I
you wanna
could
watch
be.
episodes of Naruto talking ostriches like and waste your life away. That is your prerogative, bro.
I did, and I hate
I
myself
do not
for
want
it,
to do
but
that.
I did.
So, anyways, you can watch it, but it's only 9%, so it's not going to change this trajectory that much. So you would be looking at 105 days. 105 days is about a little over 3 months if you did 10 a day. There's going to be points where doing 10 a day is going to feel a little rough because if you're not willing to read the anime, there are certain pacing things that were kind of rough. They've gotten much better about it in the last arc, but like, yeah, 3 months from now.
Is the experience from watching it dubbed going to be so bad?
I know a lot of people that like it dubbed. Like, I think it's Matt Mercer does Zoro or somebody else.
I really like dubbed animes in general, and I generally will only watch the sub once I've caught up with the dub, and the sub is ahead, and I have to like watch.
Yeah,
the sub
and we'll get to that point. It's actually the dub is pretty caught up. I think they're about 10 episodes, 15 episodes apart, but yeah, a lot of people watch it in English. I started watching it subbed, and then I just couldn't get into Luffy's voice. That was really difficult for me, and being the main character, that just really struggled.
I think it's like an old woman.
Right? That's right. Matt Mercer does voice somebody though. I just don't remember who it is.
Yeah, one of them's is it Zoro? Is that Matt Mercer, the guy who does Vegeta?
I don't know.
I don't know any of the One Piece characters.
Said.
Who knows? So
Retro would know, but somebody told me Matt Mercer did somebody in English. I've never watched the show in English. I tried to watch a few episodes, just couldn't get into Luffy, so I went back to Japanese. But it's it's a pick your poison, each their own. Like, if you start watching in English and you don't like it, go watch in Japanese. If you don't like that, then quit watching One Piece. Like to me, this is a very easy problem to solve.
Yeah. It seems like a chore though because of how long it is, and I know that if it's good, I will finish it. And it feels like if it's not good, it's something that I'm gonna get into and like be in the mud for. But if it's good, I guess I'm not
One
gonna be
Piece
mad
is
at
going
it.
to be that show that there will be a day it ends. Probably going to be in the next 5 years. And it ends. And then people are going to go back and be like, well, now that it's done, I'll watch it. I'll figure it out. And then they're going to finish it. And they're going to be like, man, I wish I could have enjoyed that along with everyone else. Like, that's just as much of the experience. Like, I have chat groups where we're all caught up. And every week the new chapter hits. And we start theorizing. And we start chatting about what this could mean and that could mean and everything. And, like, because almost every chapter ends with a cliffhanger. And, like, that is, to me, just as much a part of the fun now is the actual story itself, is like the community around it. And I think that's why so many people are so diehard One Piece, because it really does like bring people together. And I never experienced that with Naruto, but I also didn't read it. I just watched it. So, and like once you're caught up, you won't be able to just wait for new episodes. It's not going to happen. You're just going to go read it and get caught up to the manga, and you're going to read every week because you won't be able to stop. And then you're going to, every time Oda takes a break week, you're going to lose your freaking mind. We just had the most gas chapter in the world. And then Oda's like, yeah, by the way, PC in 2 weeks. And now and there's like memes around that too, right? Like theories on break weeks always like get, like people have two times as much time to cook on them, so that people just like, you get real far out there. But every once in a while, someone gets real far out there and then they hit. And then that person is like a god in the community, man, because they cracked the code before the code happened, and like, it's dope. Like, it's a fun experience to have. And I think a lot of people are going to look back on this. Like, so my wife was a naysayer of One Piece. She was like, I don't want to read it. It's too long. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to do it yet. We went through, we watched the first 2 seasons of Bleach, which are the only 2 seasons of Bleach. And then we went and we watched all of Naruto. And finally I was like, please, just give One Piece a chance. Make me a deal. 2 seasons. And if you want to quit, we'll quit forever. I'll never ask you again. And there's like that meme with the little bird that's like, One Piece is too long. And then it eats the cracker, and the cracker says One Piece. And then it's got a little straw hat on. Do you know what meme I'm talking about?
No, I've never seen that.
If you don't, I'll send it to you. It is amazing. That was my wife. Did not want to stop. Full bore 2 years. And this was through a residency, through her starting her career. 2 years. She just this past weekend got caught up. And I asked her, was it worth it? And she said, absolutely. I wish I could do it again.
I mean, literally last night, I was 5 minutes away because we just finished, like, we were watching an anime and we finished it. So, like, we're probably going to go to One Piece sooner rather than later, because all these other shows are ending right now, too. Like, I'm pretty sure the last episode of Bad Batch and the last Mandalorian is going to be coming on soon. And, like, all of these different shows, and I work from home. I full-time ship from home. And, like, we need something to watch. One Piece is probably going to be that thing eventually.
Well,
But
and if you watch it in English, you can also, like, work while you watch it, right?
That's
so, like,
why.
that we didn't have that luxury.
That's why I watch dubs, because I'm always working while I'm watching my animes, or I'm doing something else. So I cannot watch subs. There's never a time where I'm dedicating my whole, to what I'm watching. It's just that's a personality flaw I think I have, but it is what it is. I like to watch while I work. So.
I watch a lot of Netflix while I work. A lot of shows.
And so like I've run out of a lot of those shows, so like I'm gonna go to probably something like that. But that being said, it's almost midnight here on the West Coast, and it's probably 3:00 where some of you guys are at. I got the signal, the bat signal that it's time for me to start getting ready for bed, and so I'm going to cut the stream there. And we will.
You just leave it on. Colson and I'll hang out. We'll keep.
I'm sure that's true, and you'll be there in the morning.
We would be.
24 hours of watch time.
I can't. Squeaks. I can't tonight, man. My first day of school's tomorrow.
I didn't expect him to leave his stream on all night. Come on, guy.
Can't do.
I just meant in other places of interaction.
Yeah, I'll probably just go watch Netflix. I started. So I'm pretty.
Yeah, chat. They're capping. They both got caps. They're going to be in the Discord chat all night tonight. We're going to have a conversation after this, so you can find them there. But thank you all for coming to the channel. I'm gonna have to put both Colson and Squeak's links into the description after all is said and done, since we had some extra guests on here. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for coming on. It's a great chat.
Thanks for
I
letting
hope
me
you
come on,
all
man.
have a great night,
you.
and I think one day we'll have to get you out to a convention, Squeaks. I know you don't do in person so much, but if we took enough jabs at him, maybe he'll come to one.
Maybe it'll happen. Maybe
Yeah, I
it'll-
don't know which one it would be, but one of them. So, it'd be good to see you in person. So, anyway, thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one. And until then, stay classy.